Come on. We are live, everybody. The internet should be working this time. If it's not, then I'm going to go burn down Verizon. And that's a joke, NSA. Don't fucking do anything about it.
It's not a joke. He's going to go do it. He's going to go burn down Verizon. He has Tyler Durden posters all over his wall. It's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. Damn, I liked the stream and it didn't register. Well, that's, you know what? I forgive you. Actually, speaking of Zoe Bowie 97, I have a question for you, Nick, about something that we were discussing, or that Zoe and I were discussing.
What is up?
How old were you when you learned the fact that you can die of carbon monoxide poisoning from running your car in the garage?
Very, very, very.
How old were you when you learned that fact?
Well, okay. I'm going to start and say I don't exactly know the age because it was very young, and I'm going to explain exactly why. Cartoons exist, and I have seen too many cartoons bring this up. I saw Cartman and Butters doing it that time. I don't know. I could have been like 5 or 6. Why? What?
Okay. Because that's what we were talking about. I was talking about the fact. So a couple of years ago, remember how Texas got like fucked in the ass by that big snowstorm?
Oh, yeah. And a bunch of people killed themselves because they're dumb and they didn't know how physics works. Yeah. Can't use your car to warm up your house.
Okay. Yeah. And
yep.
Yeah. Also, by the way, a ton of fucking literal children froze to death in their beds, which is like a lovely story to hear in a first world country.
Debatably first world country. Yo, you have a delay that is like, this is fun. Your internet is dead.
Sorry, the fucking internet's still slow. Yeah, and which is ridiculous because I just watched an entire episode of Star Trek with no problems. So,
did you close the window?
Hang on. Let me try something.
Hogging all the bandwidth for Worf. I love Worf as much as the next guy, but come on.
Yeah, it's not even Worf yet either. I'm not far enough into Star Trek to be getting good Worf shit.
Oh god. That rip. Yeah, no, like I learned this as
a text to my dad to tell him to fucking go fix my grandma's internet.
Fix the internet. Yeah, no, I mean I learned as a kid, but like at the same time, I don't know if people start thinking in their right minds during these crisis stitches. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I don't know how people don't know this fact.
Well, no, it's not like they don't know the fact, but they're not thinking about that when they're in Texas and it's like frozen hell. They're just like, oh God, I got to do something. Like, there are also people who were dragging whole ass metal trash cans inside and then lighting fires in them. That's one of my favorite ones. Like, all right.
I was simply making the point that some things that seem obvious to us aren't obvious to everyone. Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not blaming these people because it happened to a bunch of people, so it's clearly a systemic problem. I'm asking, how the fuck did school never teach them that? Or cartoons, like Nick said?
Why would it?
Or a casual conversation with another person?
That's not
why wouldn't it is the question.
If you would kill yourself, how would you?
Well, I don't even mean necessarily that. I mean, like, how did you never have a conversation where you're like, oh, yeah, I had a buddy, he died of carbon monoxide poisoning, man. Like, his fucking detector didn't go off.
So, if anything, they don't know that because they're having less deaths with carbon monoxide poisoning. It's not like...
Yeah, and that part is definitely good, but I just, like, how did a TV show never... Like, granted, I've watched more TV than most, but I've spent so many hours of my fucking life watching TV, even TV I don't even like, that I've accidentally encountered plenty of shit I wouldn't have known otherwise.
Yeah, but like the idea of referencing back to that is not something everyone does.
I don't get. You're right. I know that's true. I just don't fucking get it. How do you not know this, guys?
I mean,
I don't know. It's like when you I used this example
when is
with
that going to
Zobo
come
earlier.
up? I guess it's just what I'm curious. Like, how is that organically going to come up anywhere?
I don't know. I used this example earlier. So whenever they do polling about like support for Trump, let's say,
Sure.
there's always that little tiny chunk that's like 0.5% that's like don't know. And I'm like, how do you not know who Donald Trump is?
Old people?
Clearly, apparently enough of them to be 0.5% on a fucking thing, but I'm just like, Jesus.
Someone who answered on a phone call and was drunk as shit?
Fucking clearly. I don't know. I don't. How do I phrase this without sounding like a complete elitist dickhead?
You don't know how people don't have the same worldview as you with the same experiences and knowledge. How could they?
No, because I have theory of mind. That's a different thing. No, the question is, I will never This isn't a question. I'll never understand the notion of not being a curious person.
It did kill a cat.
Well, by the way, that's only half the saying. The other half of the saying is science brought the cat back.
I'm going to be really clear. Yes, but I think the whole point, especially with this one, people aren't curious to find out because fear is a way stronger emotion than curiosity.
Yeah, I just don't get it. Like I don't know. When I was a kid, my parents didn't really dumb down their language around me. They kind of just talked how they talked, and then if I didn't know a word, they'd explain it.
So okay. I don't mean this in like a silly way, but have you considered looking at the shelf behind you?
The Legos? Yeah, I know.
Well, do you?
I don't. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, when I was a kid, if I heard a word I didn't know, I immediately was like, what does that word mean? I need to know. Like, I want to know what that fucking 3-syllable word means. I want to know what audacity means or whatever. I just don't get how other people find a taste of knowledge of something they don't know, and they're not at all curious to find out more. I just don't get it. They not like me.
Exactly.
How though?
Okay. How? Because if we were all the same kind of person, if we were all curious human beings, we as a tribe would all venture out into the woods and all get fucking eaten by tigers. And that is not helpful as a species. Well, you're asking how. I mean, that's how.
Yeah, and I get that there's like poking and prodding at things you don't understand, but like, I don't know. Like, I have a friend who, and he's a good guy, and he's not dumb. He's just not a very curious guy. And I'm always like, doesn't that fucking stress you out not knowing shit?
I think the idea is it stresses him out having to learn a bunch of shit.
I guess so, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, some people have to be taught to be curious. That really is true, and that's something school really needs to teach and mostly doesn't, as you pointed out in the chat earlier. But like, if I'm watching, I don't know, if there's a news story, what
does it need to for their goal, or should it for our moral goals?
Both. But
I mean,
I'm just thinking, like, if I'm watching the news and there's a story about like a nuclear plant, I know. But I'm just to use a nuclear plant. If I'm watching a news story and they're talking about a nuclear plant and they stumble onto some knowledge about nuclear plants that I don't know, I want to go find that out because it freaks me out if I don't understand this.
You know, I'm not very up to date on the biology at Chernobyl, but I'm sure there's a couple nuclear plants. All right, that's the joke for the day. There we go, folks.
No, but like seriously, when like Fukushima happened in 2011, I'm like, okay, well, I want to go learn what the fuck they're talking about. It stresses me out to not know this.
Okay, I think there's two aspects to this as well, though. So I'm a curious person, but I'm curious enough that I know that there is a lot of shit I don't know, like a lot, and there's so much that I don't know that if I just get curious about every random thing, I'm just going to be reading fan fiction. I'm going to be like doing stupid shit. I don't got to be curious about every TV show ever made. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. Because trust me, like when my mom fucking said, "Do you know what a New Hampshire s'more is?" I said no, and I don't want to.
Okay.
Because I know what the fucking answer is going to be.
But now I think we're hitting on the crux of something. Everyone is curious to a degree that feels suiting to their personality from their own perspective. So I think for a lot of the people that you're talking about, I'd logic it out that they go, I don't know, I don't want to know, and I don't need to know. In the same way that I would say that to someone, they're like, hey, you want to hear my fucking deep cut about Has Been Hotel? No, I'm good. And that's fine. But maybe the problem is that apathy? I think that's apathy. I mean, like, it's just easy to apply.
Yeah, kind of.
It's hard to thread the line between channeling your taste and like curating what you consume and blocking yourself out from other influences. And maybe that balance is not something even approached at in like schools where like, yeah, there's going to be some stuff you're going to hear about that it's just not going to interest you. If every single thing in public school mattered, we'd all be doing drama and we'd all be on the football team.
Yeah, I know. It's just, I don't know. Like, I don't really like math, but I still, like, if I didn't know how to do subtraction on my own, that would bother me.
Sure, but where's the line? I mean, do you have to know about, like, theoretical mathematics?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is there's different gradations of what's important to every different person. There's just a few things I don't fucking get how you guys didn't know that. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick. I just don't get how you didn't know the carbon monoxide thing, man.
Like, okay, but to be clear, how do you organically think that's going to come up?
Okay, actually, I just thought of a really simple example. I knew this girl in high school. It's actually not even about her. It's just about something that happened.
Here we go.
We were doing like some fucking English class vocab word shit, right? Like take turns reading the word and the definition.
Mm.
And this bitch pronounced the word ricochet as ricochet. And it took everything I had to not be a dick. Because she was a nice person and I didn't want to be a dick. But my brain is screaming, you are 16 years old. How the fuck have you never encountered the word ricochet before? Do you not read?
Well, I don't know about this. Because a lot of people were Socratic learners. A lot of people consume information in different ways. She could have had conversations where if you said the word ricochet, she would understand it. She would understand the word. And if you see it and you don't know what it means, but you understand the word, that's a mark of you consuming it a different way. Plus, I mean, once again,
probably true.
How come
the French and all that went through?
Explain to me the specific reason for the French words in English right now, Larry.
This is actually a valid point. That I once made the point, if it'll fucking show, that it's okay if you mispronounce a word because you probably learned it by reading it. That is true.
Literally,
and all that went through my head, and that's why I wasn't a dick to her. I just wanted to be.
But why even want to be? I mean, like, it doesn't mean she hadn't encountered the word.
Hang on. It's fucking shit in the bed again. You know, I have an idea that might fix the internet problem. Give me a minute.
Oh, God. Here we go. It's going to be
If
problematic.
we lose me for a second, it'll be back.
Well, I'm sure you will ricochet right back. I thought it was funny. What can I say, folks? So, what other things do you feel is knowledge that everyone should have? I personally don't think there's many things. The human experience is so subjective. It just really depends.
Blame Larry, leave Ice Cube alone. Yeah, so we do need to talk about that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I probably should blame Larry. No, I probably should blame Larry. Because the fuck did you make me watch, Larry?
This is my fault. I didn't make you watch anything. I just recommended it. That was your choice.
You said get off this call right now. Stop what you're doing and go watch this. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but you didn't have to do it.
So I go and I put on Amazon the movie versus the aliens. And
yes, also known as Amazon Prime's War of the Worlds.
I hate everything about it. What the fuck you make me watch, Larry?
I didn't make you do anything.
Hold on, because I had some notes actually. Hold on a second. So let's go through this. One, how many times is the NASA woman going to physically encounter aliens and like her camera's gonna like cut out like she just got stabbed or something, and she's gonna call you back like in like 5 to 10 minutes?
They did it at least twice.
I think it was
at least twice that I remember.
It was a lot, and it wasn't like a running gag style. It was not meant to be this. They just didn't even talk about it. There was no beat. There was no funniness to it.
Oh yeah, the movie was trying to be a movie.
Was it though?
Well, okay, maybe not, but tonally it wanted to be.
Okay, so you like know how? Have you heard how these giant streaming conglomerates are doing weird things with IPs, where like sometimes they'll just take it off or make it so the rights are gone because it's like a tax write-off thing?
Yeah, the fucking blowtorch.
Yeah,
the intellectual property blowtorch. I love it.
This feels like the like foil opposite of that for the same reason. Like, I don't know exactly how
it really
works.
Does.
There's something there that is a financial gain to how this movie works, because it wasn't for the movie. This movie isn't a movie. It's not. First of all, folks, I watched this.
They're laundering money or something.
Which is actually the best way to watch it. You should actually watch this on a laptop. It's kind of amusing. I like those films where it's like, haha, see, I'm playing with screens, so it looks like your toolbar is doing things. Haha. But like, okay. If you're going to do this, you can't then have Ice Cube needing to use his cell phone to call 911 and then typing some things out and then some. Okay. At one point, he's in a video chat, which is insane, with a bunch of the high level people from a bunch of different departments from government. Okay, cool. Whatever. One of them's
emergency Zoom meeting.
One's continually on a golf course. Don't worry about it. They're like, you got to join the Zoom, but they can't force him into a call or anything. He has to just join it like it's a work office. I don't understand any of this. But Ice Cube is not
because Zoom gave them money.
Well, no, I understand that. I just don't understand how they think this is how the government could even like exist. No, I've already said this is just an ad with extra steps. Amazon, Zoom, YouTube. I'm sure another one will come to me. But yeah, it was just a money suck. But so Ice Cube does not join this Zoom call. He has to wait a little bit. Why? Because Ice Cube does not do his job. Ice Cube is the biggest like walking national security problem I've ever seen. Where like he works, okay, he's like the NSA, eye in the sky, and not the way you think about it, audience, because you're thinking about it, but like make that a shittier version, like the dude from Kim Possible.
Yeah, he's Ron.
No, wait. Listen, I know my Kim Possible. I wasn't gonna go there, but we're talking Wade. So.
Oh, okay. I don't know Kim Possible well at all.
Black guy sitting in the chair, but
okay.
So he is using all of the government's hacking technology and ability to jump cameras and drones and shit to continually just spy on his kids all day. And like, yeah. I don't mean children. I mean like grown ass adults. And like at one point during the opening, he switches to his daughter's fridge while he's in the middle of a phone call with her. It's like, you're not eating enough like fiber or something. Like it is some of the creepiest shit I've ever seen. Now this is our hero.
A muffin? Really? A muffin?
None of his crimes are ever going to matter, but you should know there are a lot of them, and he's going to continue to do it the whole movie. So eventually he stops doing this and for a second does his job, joins the Zoom call, talking to the heads of state. One of them's on a golf course like the entire movie. Do not worry about why. Fun fact, we've been shown that the weather everywhere is super fucked. We never see that in any of the scenes. It's kind of a weird thing. It's like almost like you could make the scenes in like a weird little generator, but you couldn't do it with your actors. I don't know. That's just me speculating, of course.
Yeah, by the way, was it the same fucking time in every time zone in the movie? Okay, good. I thought I was imagining that.
Except in the beginning, the NASA woman sends you a bunch of like videos of fucked up weather from across the earth. That's happening right now.
Okay.
But like all those were generated with that in mind, and then the weather didn't matter anymore. They just told you it happened one time, and then you have to color it in your mind for the rest of the movie.
Because the movie was shot during COVID and fucking released 5 years after COVID, which is always a great sign.
You could do so much. Like the idea with this is fine, kind of like watching the War of the Worlds from like a bunch of cameras and shit, and like it has to be like COVID style, could work. Now enter Ice Cube's children. Ice Cube's grown ass children are 1, the woman who is curing cancer, literally, just who she is, and his son. Now his son looks like Jaden Smith went to the dollar store. It's very. We got Jaden Smith at home. And Jaden Smith at home, Ice Cube hates him and just ignores him for the first third of the movie. So you know he's going to be important. I don't know how yet, but sure, he's going to do something. Meanwhile,
I think Honest Trailers made a comment that not since Interstellar has a character cared so deeply about one of his 2 children.
Wait. Hold on, can we just bank off? What are you talking about?
There are jokes all the time about how McConaughey in Interstellar doesn't give a shit about his son.
Oh, you mean when he went to the school and bitched them out how they should send Tom to college, and they're like, we are not doing that. And he's like, you motherfuckers, I swear to God, I'm about to make the greatest farmer then, because that's the only thing you're giving me as an option here. That father-son relationship. Okay, sorry. I thought I was watching.
I know. It's not actually... Yeah, I know.
So I just think people hate Interstellar for the wrong reasons.
No, yeah, true.
There are reasons to hate Interstellar.
And that's not one of them.
Honestly, I think if you would have just committed to your ending and not been open-ended like a bitch about it, it would have been dope.
Yeah.
I
haven't seen Interstellar since theaters, so I need to watch it again. But
Jesus Christ. Coop. But okay. So Jaden Smith at home is just hated by Ice Cube. But I mean, he just lives at Ice Cube's house, which he calls Ice Cube's wife's house. Clearly, the dead mom thing. Who cares? Oh yeah, because Ice Cube does that also lame thing where he just sends Facebook text to her and stuff because he accesses his Facebook, NSA computer, and like everything else. It's just what he do.
It probably isn't good to go on your personal Facebook account on a government secured computer, but
I mean, he is the guy who would watch it in the first place. So like, who's gonna watch it? The government. But
yeah, true.
It is weird. There's only one.
No,
guy.
I meant like that's got to be a security risk, right?
I mean, everything he does is a security risk. He moves drones out of zones, so like their coverage isn't correct. He watches random civilians. He just kind of ignores an alien invasion because he wants to focus on his daughter, who got impaled by like a random rebar thing.
A muffin.
Oh my god. So it turns out Dollar Store Jaden Smith is actually Super Hacker Supreme.
Who could have guessed?
I don't know, man. It's bad. It's fucking bad.
The literal second his son showed up, I was like, oh, he's Hacker Man.
What do you mean? The logo for the hacker dude only has a sweatshirt, and the son's the only character who could wear a sweatshirt. That's totally not a thing. Anyways, so as I'm watching this, I can't go through every single pane here because there'd be too many. But one thing I really enjoy is when Hacker Man is later with his hacker crew. He has a hacker crew, folks. And they make sure that we see all of them for a split second so we know they all look like World of Warcraft players in a South Park episode. Like they like have to do that like, oh, we're dweebs thing. But I want to go through the names of these people because I'm pretty sure I can remember them offhand.
This I didn't even note this. What were their names?
So one of them, okay, so the leader, son, Jaden Smith, his name is Dave, but his hacker name is Disruptor. His group are all disruptors. Don't worry about that. We're not going to question that part. That's fine. So he has 3 people in his gang. One is named Starfire. Not that Starfire. This is just a grown man. We have another one. This is my personal favorite because it pisses me off in a way that I just don't understand. I'm going to say the full name for you folks. And this is one person. Thelma and Louise. One person is named Thelma ampersand Louise.
Maybe they're just a huge Ridley Scott fan. We don't know.
I don't care. You can be one.
Isn't it so fucking nuts that Ridley Scott, in between doing like Blade Runner and Gladiator and Alien Covenant and all that shit, did fucking Thelma and Louise?
I don't know. It's not that weird. I just think it's weird that you want to be both. I don't know. Are you in like a pseudo lesbian relationship with yourself? I don't know, man.
Aren't we all?
If we're lucky. But so the other one I believe is just like Burner. It's like it's just like a Kevin ass random name. Now, at one point, as soon as Disruptor brings in Ice Cube, they all just start calling the kid Dave. What the fuck is the point of all of these names?
Not that I'm trying to defend this movie, but I will say they probably knew who he was already, and the second his dad walks in, they're like, oh, okay, we can just use our names.
What in the name of Mr. Robot are you talking about? We're not doing... Like, why would... I'm trying to take down the government and like their elite data centers, and they don't, and I'm just out here sharing my name with all the homies. That is the worst hacker, even on TV, I've ever seen.
I think what they were going for was the whole thing where like Lois calls him Superman when Batman's in the room, but then they say it's all right. He knows, and she goes, "Oh, okay." So Clark.
I really
like. I think that's what they were going for.
I feel like you're just trying to put that there.
Maybe I'm just being nicer to this movie than it deserves.
They just forgot who knew what many times in the movie.
Yeah, I mean that happens. That happens in movies and in shows.
Yeah, but this is so bad. So, by the way, guys, they say War of the Worlds 3 fucking times.
They do, yeah, you're right. I remembered the one. I forgot about the other two till you sent me the thing about it.
And they have it on the screen as they repeat the line of the president. The president has declared this a war of the worlds. As on the bottom it goes, War of the Worlds. I'm like, all right, no, you can't. No, like even Peter Griffin would just be pissed off at this point. You overdid it. You like popped the balloon that we've been playing with like a cat for years. Like, you dick. Like,
yeah, I'm okay with the little hokey thing like that, but you have to earn a moment like that.
Like, and you have to kind of, like, the right character is to do it too.
Yeah, like this is the most random fucking example. Have you seen the Blue Beetle movie?
I have not.
It's very good. Well, I don't know about very. It's shockingly good for a streaming movie turned theatrical release.
I can't take it seriously for the sole reason that, listen, I sold myself into watching Cobra Kai from the beginning to the end. And so Miguel Diaz is just Miguel Diaz. He is locked in.
Well, his training pays off for Blue Beetle because he kicks some fucking serious ass in that movie. Anyway, it's a surprisingly good movie, and there's one moment in it where so his whole family decides to go rescue him near the end, even though they don't really have any training or like capacity to be superheroes. What they have is Ted fucking Cord's enormous bunker filled with high-tech shit.
So they had a Spanish Fast and the Furious moment where they went familia, and then all picked up guns, and then went dun 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 dun, and then it played that one montage song it always does. So it's like dun 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 dun.
Basically, but less lame. Also, there's like a really funny bit where they really strongly imply that his grandma was like one of Castro's fucking soldiers or some shit. Like, maybe not Castro specifically, depending on the country, but they imply that his grandma was like a left-wing revolutionary back in the day.
There's a lot to unpack with that they didn't need to do.
Well, it's because they're all like grabbing the high-tech Ted Cord weapons and it's all really because it's so high-tech they can figure out how to use it because it's designed as such. But then his grandma picks up a fucking Gatling gun and instantly displays mastery of not only how to use it, but how to load it and clean it and everything.
Okay, so grandma might have been a fascista who worked for the U.S. government overthrowing governments, but that's just me.
No, it wasn't that, because during the fight when she's firing it, she yells "Death to the Imperialists" in Spanish. When he asks about it, his mom says, "Remind me to tell you about Grandma's revolutionary days."
I see. This is the thing with Latin America is everyone gets framed as a revolutionary with these things.
Yeah, but the rest of the context around it strongly implies that she was on the good side.
Nah, bro. All I'm saying is I'm just hearing snowfall with extra steps. Grandma was in the jungles, just out here trying to impose U.S. work to sell fucking Chiquita or something.
The context would imply it was the opposite, and that's what I'm choosing to believe, because Grandma's a nice old Mexican lady. And I'd like to believe she wasn't the fucking Contra.
United Fruit Grandma.
So anyway, when the big fight against all the robot drones and shit kicks off, George Lopez, who plays his uncle, hits the fucking radio and Kickstart My Heart comes on, and that's the song they use for that scene in every fucking movie.
No, that sounds so lame. That sounds just like I was pitching. This is great.
It does, but the movie is so good up till now that I literally said when I was watching it, all right, they can have the Kickstart My Heart needle drop as a treat. They've earned the goodwill from me. They can have it.
Chicken jockey head ass fucking scene. Like,
yeah, by the way, like regarding the thing you said about Latin America, the movie is shockingly steeped in the themes of like the 80s Latin American shit.
I'm sorry, what? You'll cut out there.
The movie is really strongly steeped in the themes of reckoning with the legacy of Latin America in the 1980s, like America's fucking adventurism there. Like the main fucking, not the main villain. The main villain is Susan Sarandon, but her like underling, who's Carapax, I think is his name. She meant when she's trying to like sell Carapax as a useful asset to some government guys, she mentions in passing, you know, a graduate of the School of the Americas. And then later on, when we see like brief flashbacks of Carapax's backstory, they literally show like American soldiers and shit gunning down his fucking village and abducting him and sending him to the School of the Americas where they train him to be a killer and shit.
Man, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Like, I'm not saying it's the best movie ever. It's definitely not as good as the recent couple of DC movies, but it's like, especially considering it was literally shot to be a straight to HBO streaming movie, and then they decided to give it a quiet theatrical release instead.
I got a question for you.
Yes.
If you could make a movie in the vein of Inglourious Bastards, where you can pick pretty much one time in history and you can change some shit, what do you do?
I don't know, because all the fucking cool ones they did, like the Manson family, Tarantino did that one.
There's so many options. What do you
Hitler,
mean?
Tarantino did that one.
I'm gonna give you one.
I'd really love to see the alternate universe where John Hinckley Jr. was successful. I'd be really intrigued by how different things look there.
I want one where Gandhi gets called out when he's alive.
That's fair.
I just want to see Gandhi suffer. For those of you out there who don't know, Gandhi's a terrible person. Terrible person.
Yeah.
Terrible person.
He had his demons.
He was one. Terrible person.
Well, yeah, I think that freeing India from the grip of British colonialism was probably a net gain for the human race.
If we're gonna get into this, because he didn't. Winston Churchill cut a fucking country in half, and then was like, "Oh, let's use this PR stunt to give you the half I don't need, and then let me set up the anti-Russian military in the other half." It's an actual. I know. Gandhi didn't do shit for that. Gandhi G, fuck off. He ain't grandpa. He didn't do shit.
Yeah, well, he was grandpa in the sense that he was a little bit weird with the girls.
He was uncle. He was fucking a little bit? Nah, bro. See, here's the thing.
As far as we know, he didn't actually do anything.
No, that's not true.
Probably not.
He's laying naked in bed. With underage girls. Oh, what? So the whole pitch is he's not touching the girls. All right. So first things first, we have a wild thing in this modern age called child pornography. This is live child pornography at the very minimum. At the very minimum. Yeah. This is crazy that we're even having to like debate this. He's a fucking demon.
I know.
Send him where we send the other ones. Like. So,
ultimately, he did go there.
Nah, bro, I know what I want. Alternate universe where Gandhi gets sentenced to a U.S. crime, and then has to go to a U.S. Max.
Oh God, fucking Oz with Gandhi.
Oz with Gandhi, baby. Deport him.
He like rescues one of the weaker prisoners, and then like J.K. Simmons did, just whispers, "You're my bitch now."
For some reason, he keeps talking about nuclear weapons occasionally. Sorry, that's a stupid Civ joke. I'm not sure if you know this.
I don't know.
Do you know why? Because math.
I know that there's like the thing with Gandhi and nukes from that game.
Gandhi nukes people.
It's fair enough. I'm sure someone had a comment
in the first game. Like your like friendliness ran on a 0 to 9 meter, or I'm sorry, your aggressiveness. So he naturally ran on a 1, and then you'd get one thing to bump a thing to a 0, and then you'd get another thing automatically that would bring everyone down 1. It would bring him to a 9. He'd immediately start nuking everyone. It's great. It's great. But yeah.
I haven't seen the Gandhi movie in forever, so I need to watch it again to see what kind of portrait it paints of Gandhi.
You know, it's weird because they have him studying in South Africa, but it's strange because they like don't have him writing about how everyone around him is an inferior race. Why don't they do that?
Yeah.
Where's that part of the Gandhi movie? They literally put him studying
because they were trying to make an Oscar bait movie.
No, they're trying to make a fucking masturbate movie because it's bullshit and it's jerking off a legacy that shouldn't exist. Him and Mother Teresa are shadow boxing in a weird circle of lava. Like, I don't care.
Oh, I talk about Mother Teresa all the fucking time. Don't worry. I'm well acquainted with that one.
Yeah, that one seems to be more commonplace. But Gandhi.
It kind of reminds me of like how American Sniper paints Chris Kyle as this like tortured veteran, and it's like, no, he was very happy about what he did.
Oh my God. I can finally say this in like a place that people are going to appreciate this. So, unironically, when I saw American Sniper, I was like, why does this seem really familiar to me for a strange reason? And I had to fucking look into it for a bit. Because there was a movie it reminded me of. And so I'm looking it up and I can't find the movie. And I'm like, that's right. It's not a real movie. So you remember in Inglourious Bastards?
Yeah, the fake Nazi movie about him taking out like 100 dudes or whatever.
So let me just be really clear. It's a story about one soldier who is left after his entire unit is wiped out. He is in a hostile environment. He makes like a decent defense position and then just starts sniping any single soldier who comes anywhere his way from a wide perimeter until someone's able to come pick him up. That's the exact same fucking movie both times.
Yeah.
Like if you take away flags for 10 seconds, American Sniper is unironically the Nazi movie from Inglourious Bastards. And it's
you actually don't have to take away the flags because Chris Kyle was a white supremacist.
Well, you can take away the flags because, like, you could make the same propaganda film for any side. Let's not forget, the whole point of this film was it was Goebbels trying to make a masterpiece.
And he certainly did, of a sort.
So, like, I don't know. I don't know how the guys making American Sniper never sat there and were like, so, we're going to remake the propaganda film from that thing where they killed Nazis, right?
I can tell you how. They thought they weren't making a propaganda movie because it's all about how killing all those people made Chris Kyle sad.
And?
They think that's not propaganda. They're operating at a simple level on the bell curve. They think that propaganda is when you depict the soldiers as unambiguous heroes and the war as good. They don't understand that propaganda also includes doing the whole, like, fucking ooh-woo, what a poor little wounded gazelle gambit with a fucking serial killer like Chris Kyle.
Or Charles Xavier.
Yeah, a little bit, depending on the writer.
I'm just gonna throw out there. Oh, boo-hoo! I don't have my legs, and I still believe in humanity. So why can't you? Wow, Magneto! Wow. See, I take care of all these kids. What do you do? I mean, yeah, you take care of a bunch of kids, and yeah, you're trying to like make a whole country, and yeah, you're trying to actually like save mutants on a daily basis. But I got money, and I'm doing it, and I think it's better. When?
Well, see,
and everyone goes, "Oh my
I think
God."
I mentioned this. I mentioned this the other night, but the problem with characters who've been hundreds of writers over the course of 6 decades is that the characters will inevitably be written inconsistently. So sometimes Magneto is depicted as being mutant Hitler, and then it's like, all right, now Charles looks pretty reasonable in his fucking distrust.
How, like, I'm sorry, I'm never gonna take the Holocaust victim turned into mutant Hitler. Can't do it.
Oh, I agree. It is the ultimate smack in the fucking face to not only real Holocaust survivors, but to Magneto as a character. But some writers do it anyway.
I mean, plus, I don't fucking like. I don't know how to put this except to just put it out there. A thing that people used to say in stories and stuff, like, what gives you the right to XYZ? If we asked Magneto this question, he would take out a scroll that would wrap around your legs and extend back to your house.
Yeah, fuck the Holocaust shit. Magneto just went through some bad shit.
He's always just going through some bad shit.
Yeah, like, I mean, I hate to fucking cite this example because the movie is otherwise one of the most shit-awful superhero movies I've ever watched, but this scene in it is great.
Which one?
The Magneto shit from X-Men Apocalypse.
The one with the helmet?
He has the helmet of them. You're gonna have to be... No. X-Men Apocalypse was the one where Oscar Isaac played Apocalypse, and it was like set in the 80s and everything.
Oh, yes. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I was thinking of the one where it's like old ass Magneto doing like all his shit.
Yeah, no, Apocalypse, it's a fucking awful movie, but the shit they do with Magneto is great. Because he's living in hiding because of the whole, televised attack on the U.S. president and tried to destroy the whole world thing from the last movie. So he's living in hiding under a fake name, and he's built himself a whole new life in, like, Poland. He's got a wife and daughter who love him, and they know the truth about him and everything. And then he's working at this, like, sheet metal factory or whatever, and a big-ass thing almost falls on one of his friends, and he instinctively uses his powers to stop it and say,
"Oh, yeah," and they're like, "Get the fuck out of here, you fucking beauty."
Well, right there, they don't say anything because only a couple of them see it, and he just quietly slips out the back. But then word gets around, shit.
Well, yeah,
and they show up...
Frankenstein torches.
Yeah, and they show up to his house with fucking... officially as a police action, but they specifically don't bring their badges and guns because they're made of metal. They show up to his house with fucking bows and arrows, and in the scuffle that breaks out, kill his wife and child.
They lynch mob him.
Yeah, and then he of course immediately fucking turns them all into chunky salsa with his powers. But it's like, he saved your fucking life, and you paid him back by murdering 2 people who he cared about who had nothing to do with him.
How much pain does Magneto have to physically suffer before we could just accept he should have the right to make some barriers to stop it from happening again?
Oh, yeah, and by the way, this is why I fucking hate these last couple X-Men movies. Then when they reintroduce him in Dark Phoenix, which is set, I think, 9 years later, he has the island of Genosha. I don't know if they called it Genosha, but like functionally it's Genosha. And so Jean Grey shows up there, and then the U.S. military shows up there looking for her.
Yep.
And Magneto says, "You're not welcome here. This land was granted to us by the U.S. government." And I'm like, wait, what? Because they know who you are. You tried to destroy the whole world. You You literally attempted to assassinate not only one, but two U.S. presidents.
I'm going to throw out there what they're trying to do.
What's that?
Genosha's always been a reference to this, but they just took a closer step towards it's just Liberia.
Yeah, I get what they're going for with it in the comics, but in the shows or in the movies version of events, it doesn't make sense because now, granted, if you believe him and we never find out the truth, Magneto didn't actually kill Kennedy, but as far as the U.S. government knows, he did. And he, on live TV in front of the entire Earth 10 years later, tried to kill Richard Nixon.
I mean, the U.S. government be making deals with people they don't like all the time, to be fair.
And then in 1983, in Apocalypse, he was very publicly cited being one of Apocalypse's horsemen and, like, wrecking the whole Golden Gate Bridge and presumably killing, like, 1,000 fucking people minimum. But then he betrays Apocalypse. So I misremembered him as being mind controlled by Apocalypse, and I was like, oh, well, then I guess it makes sense that the government doesn't go after him for that. But then I rewatched it again a year and a half ago. I was wrong. He's not being mind controlled. He's being emotionally manipulated, but he's going into it with his eyes open. And because he betrays Apocalypse and helps the X-Men save the day, he apparently just gets off scot-fucking-free. Because not only do they give him a whole ass country, they identify him by name, so they know it's him. They know it's not a cover identity or some shit.
But he deserves it.
I agree he fucking deserves it, but there's no way the U.S. government is ceding an island to a guy who tried to kill the president.
I mean, in Marvel bullshit, there's a way.
Oh, and also, this is something the fucking movies don't get into.
It's still more believable than Iron Man's relationship with Spider-Man. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I don't fucking... I don't need to get into that. So, I've joked before that the X-Men movie are possibly the most comic accurate movie franchise because the timeline makes no sense and half of them suck.
That's accurate.
So the first X-Men movie was made in 2000. And it takes place roughly around there. They say the not too distant future at the beginning, but like all the fashion and technology is the same. So let's say 2001. Takes place in 2001. And Magneto is played by Ian McKellen. All right, makes perfect sense. Ian McKellen would have been a child when the Holocaust happened. Magneto being like 70, makes perfect sense. But then they go on from there. They do the prequels. And so in the prequels, all right, he is a young adult in 1962. Michael Fassbender. Perfect casting choice. They do the next movie. It's 10 years later. Still an okay casting choice. All right, he's a healthy guy. He's only 35. It makes sense he'd still look so good. What?
You hate the timeline of how they aged this motherfucker so badly.
It's not just him, it's everybody. He's just an example of it. So by the last X-Men movie they made, which was Dark Phoenix, it's 1992. And he's still being played by Michael Fassbender, even though, one, he should be like 60 now. And two, in less than a decade, he's supposed to look like Ian McKellen.
Okay, to play devil's advocate, isn't this the same thing you go on record as giving Stranger Things a complete pass for just because people age?
No, because that's the thing. He doesn't age. It's the opposite problem. Stranger Things, yeah, sure, the actors are now quite a bit older than their characters.
Yeah, but the actor isn't as old as this is, as I guess what I'm saying. So like the actor's only so old.
Well, what I'm saying is that when both Magneto actors, when they were initially cast, were valid casting choices age-wise. But then they keep fucking the timeline up with each thing. And, like, Dark Phoenix does not need to take place in 1992. There's nothing about 1992.
Yeah, it's the same thing as, like, the 5th season of a show. Like, taking, like, 10 years to come out and taking place, like, 2 or 3 years after. You could have fixed it. But
Yeah, and sometimes they do. Like, I mean, fucking Star Trek the Motion Picture was guilty of that. But there's a difference between 45-year-old Shatner playing 35-year-old Kirk and 35, or maybe let's say 40-year-old Michael Fassbender playing like 65-year-old Magneto.
Says the big fan of the adults playing high schoolers so you can creep.
I'm not a fan of that. I'm just taking what I can get.
That sounds so much worse. Oh my god.
Hey, you know what? The pretty 24-year-old playing Chrissy in Stranger Things, you know what? I don't feel guilty about finding her pretty because she's 24. Anyway. But it doesn't make... again, it's not just Magneto, it's the other characters too. Like, Scott. So they introduce a new, young, like maybe teenage version of Scott in X-Men Apocalypse. Let's say he's 17 years old, which means that in the next movie he'd be 26 years old. But it was only shot 2 years later, so he looks exactly the fucking same. Like, they don't... And I get that you don't want to recast the actor every movie, but, like, give him a different haircut so he looks older. Give him, like... I don't know, like, or Michael Fassbender, give him some fucking gray hair or something. Christ, I would be willing to suspend my disbelief if his hair was graying, but okay, it's not, and he's like 60.
They could do a little bit more in the makeup department, and he was wearing glasses to show the time.
Or in X-Men, in Apocalypse, yeah, no, exactly, yes. In Apocalypse, so you could explain all this with Magneto. Oh, his powers make him age funny. Okay. How about Rose Byrne? Rose Byrne is in First Class and then Apocalypse, which take place 21 years apart, and she looks identical. And she does not play a mutant. Her character has no powers. And she canonically had a child in that interim, and if you've ever fucking been around a woman for a number of years, you know that having a child wrecks your fucking body.
Okay.
And your mind, for that matter.
I'm just going to go on the record and say, it's still a comic book world. This guy's still making fucking planes that fly at like super speeds. God forbid medical science allows people to look a little better as they age. That's the
But deal. It doesn't. That's the thing. It takes place very explicitly in our timeline, but there's crazy shit happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, that sounds like a crazy thing happening behind the scenes.
But Rose Byrne isn't a mutant, and she's not important enough to get like the fuck Infinity formula. She's just a lady.
She's important enough that you know her name.
I know the actress's name. I had to think for a second just now to remember the character's name.
But you got to it.
Well, I did because the character is from the comics. If she wasn't, I wouldn't have.
Well, maybe they were trying to make it iconic. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, and like... So First Class and Days of Future Past have to, meaning like if you want them to be the way they are, have to be set in the respective years they are.
Sure.
But from then on, they don't. For Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix, they don't. It's just they want the vibe of the 80s and or 90s. So like if you want to fucking the Apocalypse thing and have like the young versions of Magneto and Charles and everything, make it set 5 years after the other movie. That's fine. I can accept that they've aged very well for 15 years. I can't accept that they've aged exceptionally well for 30 fucking years.
Like,
characters have powers that would justify it, like Mystique. Others very much do not.
Like, I don't know. There's bigger fish to fry.
Well, yeah, the movies are fucking awful, and that's part of why I'm shitting on them so hard. If they were good movies, I'd be more willing to fucking, like, suspend my disbelief a little.
I mean, there's great parts.
Yeah, there's one or two great scenes in X-Men Apocalypse. It's the rest of the movie that sucks.
Yeah.
There's pretty much nothing that's good in Dark Phoenix. There is that one cool scene where Jean, when she's fucking using her telepathy, makes Charles walk. Like, that scene is cool.
I don't know. He didn't crip walk. Make Charles Xavier crip walk.
I think I also I mentioned Honest Trailers earlier. I remember in their joke about the Dark Phoenix one, because I rewatched it after watching the movie, that the closest thing Cyclops gets to a character in that movie is that he gets to be the one to drop the one F-bomb in the PG-13 movie.
Such a weird thing that, like, who cares, man?
Well, that's kind of the point, is that that's the closest thing to an actual character moment he gets in the movie, is getting to be the one to say fuck.
I mean, Star Trek's getting looser with what they can say. Have you heard anything about this Starfleet Academy?
Now that they're allowed to be. I haven't heard about it, but I know they're allowed to say fuck in Star Trek now.
Third episode came out today.
Nice.
Ooh, I like this show. This is a good show.
I did hear about the line from Picard where she says something about the sheer fucking hubris of whatever. I heard about that. I don't even remember if the line was important, but I remember hearing about it.
I don't even think it was. I think it was just an offhand thing.
I think so too, but I think maybe because it was the first time someone said fuck in Star Trek, people made memes of it and shit.
No, the first time they said fucking Star Trek was in Discovery, because it was it was when they had the fungus that could teleport them or whatever, and like because like one of them looked at the camera, they're like, oh my fucking god, like, and it was like, all right guys, we get it, good for you, I'm happy for you.
Yeah, it's them going, check it out, we're on streaming now, we can say whatever we want.
Like, yeah, but it feels organic when these kids are doing it, because none of these people are Starfleet officers yet, and it's great.
Yeah, true.
I mean,
because some people, like, there was a bit of a divide among Star Trek fans about whether or not there should be R-rated swears in Star Trek.
I think they're okay. I think a Star Trek, like, it's kind of like a ramp up. I mean, you're experiencing it right now, where the further you go chronologically, the more complex the issues get with Star Trek.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels like an ethics course, where, like, you can't have them saying fuck on the first Enterprise. It would just fuck up the campy flow. Wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
You can't say fuck on Picard's Enterprise because we care too much in Sirius. Realistically, you could have gotten away with it if you were on Janeway's shit. If you were Janeway, or if someone could say it, and like she'd be like, but it could happen. Deep Space Nine, fuck it. No one, like, they totally could have done it. But we're still doing with people who are complaining, and it's been how many fucking years just since then? Grow up, people.
Yeah, I mean, so like the original TOS was never allowed to swear at all. Like, they weren't even allowed to say "what the hell." Usually,
they're not allowed to do a lot of things on original series.
Yeah, well, famously. City on the Edge of Forever, which for those of you who aren't autistic enough to know, is the really famous episode where they time travel to the 30s and Kirk falls in love with the woman and he's forced to let her die so that history doesn't get fucked up.
Ironically, also in
what'd you say?
Ironically, in Fallout 2, they let you remake a scene from that, pretty much.
Nice. So at the end of that episode, they get back, and Kirk has just had to. He was just forced to allow the woman he's fallen in love with to die, which is, tragic. And they, from the ship, they say, like, what's our plan here, here, Captain? And then he ends the episode by just saying, "Let's get the hell out of here." And famously, they had to argue with NBC to be allowed to have him say that line.
Yeah, but
They ultimately won, but they had to fight. That's how strict the TV fucking S&P was in 1967.
There's the S&P thing, but then there's also just like there's internal censors. Mostly it was Gene. Now it's just a bunch of fucking gatekeeping nerds.
Yeah, well, that's why Gene, like, he felt that moment required an actual mild profanity.
He'll feel that. He won't feel like you should have gay people in space, but like whatever, you know. Like yeah.
To be fair, he did imply that as much as he was allowed to.
Sometimes.
Especially in Next Gen.
I don't know, man. You could have just flat out had Riker being openly with dudes, but Gene didn't want it.
Well, actually, do you remember the episode where they go to the planet where everyone's genderless and there's the person there who has declared herself female?
Yes, I understand. Well, no, because like Riker introduces the concept of gender to the fucking race.
Yeah, and she finds, oh, that's why I've been so uncomfortable in my own identity my whole life. Anyway, it was basically a very primitive take on a trans story, which for 1991...
Okay, it has nothing to do with sexuality then, though, so my point stands.
No, but I'm getting to something about that. The original idea, the one that the director and casting people of that show, of that episode wanted to do, was to cast a male actor to play that character.
But then Gene...
And they... not Gene. Gene was dead by this point. It was S&P. S&P wouldn't let them do it.
Are we sure on this one?
Yeah, I checked. I made sure.
All right.
Because Gene left Next Gen around like season 2 or 3 because his health was getting fucked up. And this was like season 4 or 5.
It hadn't been
so
written.
I confirmed for sure that it was S&P who wouldn't let them do it.
Well, I guess he gets out of that one thing. He gets blamed for 10 others.
Yeah. No, Gene was far from perfect, and he definitely, there was a limit to what risks he was willing to take with the show.
He's an old woke person.
Yeah, exactly.
Which means he's also stubborn as shit, and anytime he gets told he's wrong about something, he puts his back up like a fucking asshole. And you have to wait for him to die to even use half of his properties.
Oh, yeah, no, true. I remember DS9 actually, I forget which one because I obviously haven't seen it, but DS9 one time had a brief kiss between two women, like two female aliens. And like that was, yeah, they had to like fight the fucking networks to be allowed to show that.
Yeah, but now they're making Star Trek woke. It sucks.
Oh, yeah, now they're making Star Trek woke. Actually, before I get back to Star Trek, this is so random, but I was just randomly thinking about it. So I was thinking about this in the shower earlier. Have you seen the Lethal Weapon movies?
No, because I care about my sanity.
They're actually not that bad.
Who's the main actor in that?
What'd you say?
Who's the main actor in that again?
Well, one of them, because there's two.
Yeah, but who is it?
One of them is Mel Gibson.
Yeah, I don't watch.
Which makes. Well, that's what I'm saying is that a lot of the shit in those movies is really funny in hindsight because there's totally statements Mel Gibson would never agree to do today. But the Lethal Weapon, first of all, they have one advantage over all other propaganda movies, which is that unlike most of them, they're good.
Say what you will about Mel Gibson, but the son of a bitch knows story structure.
Well, no, I was going to say, like, say what you will about cop movies as a genre, but Richard Donner is a real filmmaker, and he directed all 4 of them. So, like, say what you will about their politics, they're real movies. Anyway.
They can be real movies
so
water stories, though.
Well, they can, but my point is they're not. They're a little generic, like they're buddy cop movies, but, you know.
I don't know, like, a buddy cop movie, I feel like it needs to be the beginning of something, and that can't just be your whole movie. Like, it's played out.
Well, that's kind of the thing. Well, that's the thing is it wasn't in 1987. In 1987, the notion of having like the older veteran detective and the young hotshot detective who doesn't play by the rules, that was like, it wasn't completely uncharted territory, but that was a new premise for a movie.
I mean, isn't that the exact same premise as a bunch of westerns?
Not really. I mean, maybe a little, but like this was modern day Los Angeles.
Old sheriff. Oh yeah, okay. So we switched the locale. It's not old sheriff, young buck. It's out on horses. Now they're in a car.
Well, okay. I'm not saying Lethal Weapon's the most fucking original movie ever made. I'm saying that whatever flaws they have, they're decent. By the way, one thing that helps those two characters connect is that they're not that different in age, and they are in fact both Vietnam veterans. It's just one was in Vietnam when he was an adult, and one was there when he was like barely legal.
Listen, that ain't too buku.
There's a pretty famous little monologue Mel Gibson gets in I think the first one, where he's concerned that that he's the only thing he's good at is killing people.
That's not a bad thing to be good at.
Well, he's concerned that there's nothing else to him, and that's what's driving him, and that like maybe he's a cop for the wrong reasons and shit. But the way he starts the monologue, because they were talking about like crazy shots they made or whatever, and it's mostly like on the shooting range. Oh, I got a perfect score on whatever. And he gets really quiet and he says, one time when I was 19, I killed a target in Laos at 1,000 yards in high wind. My drill sergeant told me that there were only 10 or 12 people on Earth capable of making that shot. And then he kind of like
Timothy McVeigh.
But anyway, the whole reason I thought of it is because there's two things in Lethal Weapon 4, which, as I'm sure you know, the fourth movie don't tend to be the best of the franchise. But there's two things in 4 that are like shockingly progressive for a 90s era cop movie.
Carl Winslow.
No, he's not in. That's Die Hard, which is a different action movie from the 80s written by Stephen E. D'Souza.
Yeah, I was just hoping Carl Winslow was here.
Actually, a lot of the same like crew guys and even a few bit parts worked on both Lethal Weapon and Die Hard.
That's why it wasn't a terrible guess.
Yeah,
it just was wrong.
So anyway, in the fourth movie, which is like the last one they did, where they're kind of starting to get old, type of thing.
Yeah.
So there's a new detective who's like, he's a supporting character played by Chris Rock, like young peak of his fame Chris Rock.
Oh, too much cocaine, Chris Rock.
It's 1998, so maybe. I don't know the exact timeline.
Chris Rock, like, I'm going to keep going like this. I'm going to use my fucking head. Fucking
yeah, a little. It's downplayed a little. It's not like out of place in this movie. But he is like really
do a Michael Jackson impression. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, it's fine. The Lethal Weapon movies have comedy in them, but they are somewhat serious, so he plays it down a little to match the tone of the movie.
I just feel like he's always doing Michael Jackson impressions.
Kinda. So he is like super fucking nice to Murtaugh, Danny Glover's character.
Mm-hmm.
Like to weird. Like he's always offering to get him another cup of coffee, offering to pay for lunch, like all this like kind of interesting, why is he being so fucking nice to me shit.
Okay.
And eventually, when it happens enough times, he and Riggs start to suspect, oh, this guy's gay and he's got a crush on me.
Is he?
Well, no, but we spend a little bit of time delving with how does Murtaugh handle that, because he's like 60-something old cop guy. And he handles it shockingly well, because eventually he takes him aside and tries to have the conversation with him. Like, look, man, I support you. Like, I'm happy you love who you love. I don't feel the same way about you. Like, he tries to let him down really gently, and he's just being, like, way fucking nicer than a 60-year-old cop from a night.
Is the other guy a cop?
Should be. Yeah, he's a detective. He's like the new detective in the precinct.
Well, yeah, no, the cops treating cops is different from cops treating people.
But my point is, like, he's not being homophobic at all. Like, he's going out of his way to make sure it's not a homophobia thing. I'm happy that you're happy with the people you love. And then it turns out to all be for moot. The real reason Chris Rock was being so nice to him is because he's secretly married to his daughter.
Yeah, that sounds like a Chris Rock thing to do.
Actually, I don't know if they were married, but they were in a relationship and she was pregnant. I think maybe they like eloped secretly and hadn't told their family or something. But anyway, he's like is his father-in-law essentially, but he doesn't know it yet. So he's trying to make a really good first impression so that he doesn't get mad that he impregnated his daughter.
Did I mention that in that trash movie you made me watch, the son-in-law is just Klaus from the Umbrella Academy?
That's part of why I was thinking about it, was because of the whole like pregnant daughter thing.
By the way, his
what?
daughter's pregnant, gets like what they think might be a fatal injury, and never once does anyone give any fucks about like the baby's health. Nor am I told as the audience.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no, it's just oh yeah. Oh yeah, no, they don't give a fuck. This movie forgets half of its own plots halfway through.
So the other thing that Lethal Weapon 4 does, and you are either going to love or despise this, I can't decide. Remember that it's a cop movie from the late 90s.
So I probably hate it, but go on.
Its intentions were very, very good. Its execution is a little bit clumsy because it has to fit into a movie, or a little bit simplified because it has to fit into a movie. But so at the beginning of the movie, they do a big shootout, gang drug bust, like every movie opens with a big fight scene.
Sure.
And they think that it's drugs being smuggled in because that's what it always is. But it's not drugs, it's a shipping crate full of people. Like it's one extended family of like Chinese people, or maybe Korean, I forget. And there's like 20 of them jammed into a shipping container. They're like old people, kids, every age range. And I think they're all related because they all, I think they're one big extended family.
I can see much like they all look the same.
Well, no, I was going to say because they're all acting like family members with each other when they reoccur throughout the movie. So I think they're all family members. But they open the crate and it's them. And they're like, yo, what the fuck? We thought it was cocaine or whatever. Like, why are there people in the shipping container?
Why'd there be cocaine?
And I don't think they knew where it was coming from. I don't remember the details. It's been a little while. But so the other, like the, not detective, but like one of the guys explains to them what's going on. And by explains to them, I mean explains to the audience what's going on. And he basically gives a very brief summary of like the concept of indentured servitude. Like, oh yeah, these guys get them to the US and then they're in debt for the rest of their lives. It's like super fucked up exploitative shit. And they're like, both the cops are like, damn, that's really fucked up, those poor people. And then later in the movie, Mel Gibson, Riggs, goes to Murtaugh's house and he hears like a lot of weird noise and activity from behind the door. And he's like, you know, hey, Roger, you in there? Yeah, just give me a minute. Like, I'm cleaning up. And it's like weird. And so eventually he just goes, what the hell's going on in there? And he opens the door and all the fucking Chinese people are in Murtaugh's house. Like they're in there's kids doing schoolwork, coloring. There's old people in the kitchen making meals. There's like they're just in his fucking house, like clearly living there. And then Murtaugh steps out to talk to Riggs, and Riggs is like, hey man, you know that harboring them is really fucking illegal, right? And Murtaugh says, yeah, I know, it's fucking illegal and I'm taking a huge risk, but I owe it to these people. They need my help. I can help them. I have to do it. And he remember, this is Danny Glover, who's of course black. And he says, the way I see it, I'm freeing slaves. Nobody ever did it for my ancestors, so I'm doing what I can for these people. And Riggs just goes like, fair enough. I'll keep quiet about this and I'll let you handle it. And then, of course, because the movie has to end happily, they make a friend over the course of the movie who has enough pull that he can get them a legitimate pathway into the U.S. because it's a movie; it has to end happily. But my point is, like, this cop movie from the '90s depicted the cop harboring illegal immigrants as being the good guy.
When Dirty Harry come out?
1971.
Yeah, I think American audiences are pretty used to cops bending the rules when they feel the laws don't match their morals.
Bending the rules, but he's doing a thing that, like, even most modern people would think is controversial, and it's depicted as being completely good. And even Riggs, the other cop, goes, I completely agree with you ethically. I'm just worried you'll get caught.
I mean, they did have him play the black card.
Well, he mentions it, yeah, but that's not the first thing he says. He initially just says, like, these people need my help. I owe it to them to do what I can, type of thing.
I know. I'm just saying that it has the corny 90s, like, slavery's over, racism's gone. We can all hold hands together, guys. You know, we're all gonna quash beef.
Yeah,
if we ever see any problems, if we ever see any imperialists, we're gonna stop it. We do not know about Gaza in any way, shape, or form, and none of us have ever read a single newspaper. Racism.
Yeah, well, again, it's a fucking blockbuster action movie from the late 90s. You got to temper your expectations.
I think part of that kumbaya is like you can have the cop make one or two concessions.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, what's like a modern cop movie franchise? They don't really have any anymore, do they?
No audience would go and see them, my guy.
They're all on TV. Well, they exist. They're just all on TV now.
Well, yeah, but like
let's say
a blockbuster.
I don't know. I'm just thinking, like, let's take it to TV just because that's the modern equivalent. If you had, like, the new season of Bosch depict Bosch as, like, harboring illegal immigrants in his house and depict him as the good guy for doing, you know, Bosch, the cop show with Titus Welliver.
I do not.
Okay, there's a cop show called Bosch that stars Titus Welliver, and it's very good from what I've heard. What?
I mean, is this like one of your 20 NCIS style cop shows? Like, what kind of cop show?
No, this is like a real show. It's a cop show.
I mean, NCIS is a real show.
No, but I mean, like, real. Like, it has things to say and everything. It's not as dark as The Shield, but, like, think The Shield in terms of, like, seriousness level.
Okay.
So if Bosch did a season arc where it was he's harboring immigrants and was depicted as the good guy for doing so, that'd be, like, controversial. Like, there'd be discourse about it on the internet and shit.
But it depends on the political climate at the time. I mean, if you look in the 90s, you had Reagan actively saying, well, they're already here. We should just focus on making people's lives better. It was just a different, like, that wasn't
I know.
As like a button topic.
I know, and that's why it's nuts to see in hindsight, like, damn, this movie got away with that? Like, it's easy to forget that things were different back then. I mean, everyone cited this example, but you know that movie, Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar?
Yeah.
If you made a modern movie where 3 of the big box office stars of the era all wore drag the whole movie, if you did that today, like, movie theaters would get firebombed by the right.
Okay, yeah, but that's... you're not wrong, but I'm so tired of hearing people be like, oh, if this happened today, if you tried to make this today, and it's like, well, the creative, like, things that came together to make that wouldn't exist to make it. Like, yeah, no, you are so right. You couldn't remake a fucking Will Ferrell or like an old Seth Rogen film now. But what would be the ingredients to do it? Because people don't fucking talk like that. Or at least not.
True. Actually, I just remembered, if you want to talk about political stuff getting in under the wire and Lethal Weapon, the second movie, the villains are fucking white South Africans, and the movie's all about how apartheid is evil and shit.
I don't even think it's getting under the wire. I think it's just like...
Well, the reason I say under the wire is because that movie literally came out like 2 months before the end of apartheid.
Yeah, but I mean, even before the end of apartheid, there was like a long while where like every country was putting a bunch of sanctions and shit on them.
I know.
Were to hate apartheid. What I'm trying to say is like these movies are not doing anything rebellious here. It's not a big deal.
Oh, I get it. I just like it's just funny in that case because like damn, if this movie's release had been delayed 2 months, it would have been an accidental period piece.
I don't know, man. I don't even think it's like a period. I just think it's a sign of the times that of like.
Well, yeah, I mean,
okay, for example, you couldn't make Crazy Rich Asians 30 years ago. But like, no,
yeah, when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about it with the same tone of like when I watch Snakes on a Plane and I remember like, oh yeah, it wasn't that long ago that having a cell phone with internet access was a big deal.
That's fair. I'm just so fucking tired of all the people with fucking anytime like I can't have good film discourse with a bunch of people because so often I hear, oh well, you couldn't do this nowadays. You wouldn't get away with it. And it's like, first of all, when's the last time you went to a movie theater, my boy? Like, do you even support it?
Well, they always say it about Blazing Saddles. Like, oh, you couldn't make that today.
Yes, you could.
It'd be a different movie today, but you could make a movie with its message today.
Why couldn't you make Blazing Saddles today?
Oh, you could. It's just that by virtue of time having passed, it would ultimately be a different movie in one regard or another.
I mean,
if nothing else, it wouldn't have Gene Wilder because he's fucking dead.
Yeah,
if nothing else.
But when people say that, you know what they're saying in bad faith. I'll go and say it.
Yeah, they're saying people would get offended.
I want a movie where white people say nigger. I know a movie where white people say nigger, and I like to reference it because here's the thing: I've never understood the subtext of why Mel is okay, and like. There's a reason certain things are just allowed to happen in certain ways. Like, I mean, like, no cultures get mad at certain fucking movies. You could make the movie again today. It's fine. It's like okay, it's the same. If you couldn't make any of that shit, explain why Trey Parker has just been doing the same shit for 30 years now. I don't understand the pitch anymore.
And I say that to these people every time, and they never engage.
But that's the thing, because it's a bad faith argument. And I'm no, they get it. It's bad faith. They know. You can make whatever you want.
Yeah, they know they're full of shit.
Whenever you want. People are just going to hold you accountable according to the standards of the day. Like, okay, here's a great fucking example, bro. Tropic Thunder, you could make that any year. It will be fine.
Yeah.
Because it's a dude playing a dude
disguised as another dude.
It's not just blackface. If you're thinking to yourself, God, they can't do that. What you're saying is no. I actually just want the blackface, not all the other subtext and shit. And like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, okay, buddy, I'm sorry you're not getting new racist media. Like I'm personally sorry that you apparently are unable to get like a brand new movie where you see a brand new lynching. But I don't know. Go rewatch Emmett Till or something. You fucking sicko. Like it's
my favorite. One of those like jokes about.
I'm sorry. Go on.
My favorite joke like that about Blazing Saddles is the post, or I think it's a tweet or something, where the guy goes, you couldn't make Blazing Saddles today. You'd hand the script to the executive and he'd go, this is just Blazing Saddles. It already exists.
That is very true. That is what would happen. You couldn't do that. Like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just so tired, man. And like, it comes in the weirdest ways now where like, or like, I don't, I just want to go on the record and say everything is always going to be judged by the standards of the modern era. But like,
yeah,
whenever anything is ever made, it's in the present. Like, you have to give things
Yeah, Ray Bradbury once said, "All art, no matter how hard you try, is the product of its time."
Yeah, like you need to accept that as an angle. Otherwise, it gets weird. Cause like
Star Wars. Star Wars is pretty timeless as far as movies go, but there's a couple background actors where you look at their haircut and you immediately know what year the movie was shot.
I mean, I won't come for your Star Wars.
Actually, speaking of that, not to talk about Andor, but I do really like how in Andor a lot of the characters have 70s looking haircuts in order to match the aesthetic of the original movie. Anyway, that's all I'll say.
No, that's fair. That kind of thing is neat. I do like that.
There's actually so I don't know. There's a ton of cool shit in the Lethal Weapon movies, especially the first one or two. But there's a bit in 4 that is really funny in hindsight because it involves Mel Gibson. So his girlfriend who he meets. One of the things I love about these movies is they have great continuity between them. Like all the returning characters are played by the same actors. No one ever gets recast or anything.
I mean,
and like
I would just argue my contract then. Pay me. Oh, I will break your streak.
No, but I mean like the tiny, like Murtaugh's kids, who of course age as the movies go on. You could recast one of them without noticing, but no, they got the same kid actors all 4 movies. Their co-workers at the precinct, all the same actors. It's fucking cool. Anyway,
so in the these people get better wages.
So in the 3rd movie, Mel Gibson's character starts dating Rene Russo, who's like another detective.
Mm.
They get assigned to work together. They fall in love. Typical bullshit.
Yeah.
In the 4th movie, she's still around, and she's now pregnant with their child.
Ooh.
And they've been meaning to get married before the baby's born, the whole pregnancy, but shit keeps getting in the way because, oh, this crazy situation, or, oh, we can't do it this weekend because my mom's in town, like, whatever.
That kid's going to kill
So at the end of the movie, she goes into labor. And so they rush to the hospital and they're getting her on the gurney. And she's mad. She's like, I just wanted to get the fucking wedding done before the baby was born. And one of the characters goes, well, it obviously wouldn't be official, but if I could find someone who performs marriages here in this hospital, we could do like a quickie ceremony to make you feel better. And she's like actively in labor. So she's like, fine, go for it. And so he goes looking for like a priest or whoever, and the closest thing he can find is a rabbi. So they drag the rabbi into the delivery room to do like a quickie marriage ceremony. And he explains like, this won't be official. And she's like, that's fine. I just want to hear the I do's. And he's like, all right, I'll do it for you. But it's just really funny that of all people to get to marry Mel Gibson's character, they got a rabbi.
He got paid a lot of money.
Yeah, and also, given how he is, it's possible he wasn't anti-Semitic yet when this movie was made. It's possible that was a crazy thing he learned later. I might be wrong. I don't know his fucking details, but...
Mel fucking Gibson.
He has a line in the first movie that I'm assuming was an ad-lib from him because it's super fucking homophobic and it's out of character for Riggs. Where they so the first movie opens with this girl falling to her death off a skyscraper balcony, and then they go to investigate it, and that's where the plot kicks off.
Yeah.
So they can tell from like the condition of the room and like I don't know how much of the minibar is gone that there was a second person in the hotel room with her that night. So they're trying to figure out who that is. And at one point they're on the shooting range practicing and discussing the case. And Murtaugh goes, this whole time we've been assuming the person we're looking for was a man. What if it was another woman? And Mel Gibson, for some fucking reason, goes, all right, disgusting, but all right. Which makes no fucking sense. Like, first of all, even homophobes like lesbian porn. And second, Riggs is later depicted as not being homophobic. So it's weird that he just is for that one line of dialogue and then never again.
I don't know. Like he might have meant something else. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I'm choosing to believe that was a Mel Gibson ad lib because Shane Black wrote the script, and Shane Black isn't really homophobic. He has lots of other problems, but homophobia isn't really one of them. At least not that I know of. Anyway, you should check out the Lethal Weapon movies. They're pretty good.
I don't want to watch Mel Gibson. The last time
it's back before he went crazy.
Did you see what happened the last time you had me watch a movie?
Okay, but I warned you that was going to be like that. Like, I read you my review. You knew what you were getting into, that you have only yourself to blame.
You acted like it was going to be fun. It was terrible.
You didn't have fun watching that shit?
I had fun for like the first hour, then I'm like, how is this still going?
You should have been on drugs or something then, man. I don't know. I watched it after taking a bunch of fucking edibles, and I had the best time of my life. But yeah, the Lethal Weapon movies, I mean, not that they require your brain a ton, but they're fun, well-constructed action movies with some good acting performances. Mel Gibson, say what you will about him as a person, he's great as Riggs. He has to portray really complicated shit, and he does a great job.
Say what you will about Bill Cosby, but the Cosby Show really was positive.
No, like, unironically, yeah, you can still find the Cosby Show funny and know that Bill Cosby... He did.
The pudding pops.
You know, actually,
Fat Albert bus.
Oh, Joe Pesci's in there too, by the way, if that fucking sells you on it.
Joe Pesci is in the Cosby Show?
No, in the Lethal Weapon movies.
Is he a cop or is he someone who kills cops?
No, he gets introduced in the second. He's a witness that they have to protect.
Oh my god.
And then he kind of against their best wishes, they take a liking to him because he's fucking annoying and stupid. But despite their best efforts, they grow to love him.
Already seen My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah, no, it's nowhere near that quality, but like he's a recurring character from the second movie onward, and he's amusing. Like there's a whole bit where he gets grazed by a bullet and he thinks he's gonna die, and he's yelling like, "I'm getting cold," and they're like, "You're on ice, Leo. You're cold because you're lying on ice. You're fine. It barely broke the skin. It like grazed your sleeve. You'll be fine."
He got shot.
No, I know, but he's being like a huge dramatic baby about it, and they're like, "You'll be fine, Leo. It's okay."
Stop being a baby about getting shot. How dare you?
Actually, did he even get shot, or did he like get cut with a small knife? I don't even remember. It was some like extremely mild injury that wouldn't even require a Band-Aid, and he was like fully convinced he was gonna die. But yeah, like Mel Gibson, because in the first movie he's like suicidal and shit. Like there's a whole fucking scene that has almost no dialogue, and it's just him putting his fucking gun in his mouth, thinking about whether he wants to do it.
If only, right?
Oh yeah. That's actually, I've been looking for a method to talk about this on the show, and Lethal Weapon's the perfect segue into it because they're one of the movies that does this. When did movies stop using suicide attempts as a stock hero scenario?
Well, what do you mean?
Like, if you go back to movies, say, pre-2010, if they needed, like, a generic, easy-to-understand scenario to give the hero an opportunity to be heroic, stopping a jumper was, like, one of the most common ones.
I don't know, because they're lame.
Well, I'm not saying it's a good trope or not. I'm just saying, like, it used to be that a ton of movies, if you needed a scenario where the good guy has to be a hero, have him stop a guy from killing himself.
Probably around the time they realized all of our heroes are depressed now themselves. So they just
Maybe.
too, buddy.
Well, I'm thinking like the first Fantastic Four movie, their big save on the bridge that introduces the world to them starts with a guy trying to jump and Ben Grimm trying to stop him.
I don't know. It's so weird though, like because anyone can do it.
It's just interesting. Like, yeah, when did they stop using that as a stock scenario? But they did. Like, that used to be so common that fucking The Incredibles included it.
Isn't it The Incredibles?
Yeah, dude, the whole fucking plot of The Incredibles gets kicked off because Mr. Incredible sees a guy falling, instinctively saves him, and then gets sued for disabling him and fucking up his suicide attempt. Which they literally call it a suicide attempt.
Oh, yeah.
And Mr. Incredible, like, when they get the news footage, he says, "I saved your life." The guy yells, "You didn't save my life, you ruined my death."
That is a great line.
Yeah, oh, yeah, it's The Incredibles. Almost every line in the movie is great, but... by the way, Incredibles is a children's movie that has a sex montage in it, just for fun fact.
It's a family movie.
Well, I know, but family movies don't usually have sex montages in them.
Maybe yours don't.
Like, everyone forgets that when I talk about it. In the montage of him getting in shape again because he feels good about being a hero, part of that is repeatedly trying to leave the house and his wife dragging him back inside and trying again, increasingly disheveled each time.
Because he's Mr. Incredible.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, like, that's a sex montage in this children's film.
Sure.
I'm fine with it. I'm just like, oh damn.
I mean, Pixar previously has a turtle getting high. How many dirty jokes in Toy Story? Come on.
Yeah, the hooker joke.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
meanwhile, Pixar today, they had a lesbian kiss for half a second in the Buzz Lightyear movie, and it resulted in Donald Trump winning re-election in 2024. So
no.
No, I know. But...
This is one of those times I just want to go on the record. That movie shouldn't exist for other reasons.
Oh, I know. I'm kidding. I'm just saying, like, now you have a 2-second women kiss in a Pixar movie, and it, like, I still hear conservatives talk about that on Twitter.
Yeah, but it's because they're just using talking points.
Oh, I know it is, but it's like, where the fuck were you, like, family values assholes when The Incredibles had a sex montage? Or when there was a hooker visual pun in the original Toy Story?
Not able, in a place where they were not able to make money off of talking points?
Well, yeah, that's really... It's like the whole thing. No, you don't get it. Aliens isn't a girl power feminist movie because I saw it before I cared about politics. Therefore, it's not political.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it also could be like there's two sides to it where, like, we shouldn't try to make everyone reinterpret everything they've already done just
oh, I know. I'm just saying, like, it's proof to me that these fuckers don't believe in anything.
Well, I think the ones who believe in stuff just aren't smart. And the ones who don't believe in stuff guide the ones who do believe in stuff because they don't believe in anything and they get paid to lead people.
Yeah, I know. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's bullshit and it's bad for you, as George Carlin used to say.
It could be worse.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting to me. But yeah, it's like regarding the jumper thing, like Lethal Weapon has that. Fucking Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, the first Fantastic Four movie, like it just used to be a common scenario. Oh, we need the hero to do something heroic. Have him save a man who is feeling down.
To be fair, the Incredibles is meant to be a throwback to a bunch of old tropes.
That's true, and that's why it works so well in that movie.
But, like, in general, it's kind of kooky, because you don't need a superhero to even do that.
Yeah, the reason I remembered it is because Lethal Weapon's version of resolving it is really memorable, because Riggs, when he does it, this is beginning of the movie Riggs before his character development.
Yeah.
So... he fucking hates himself and life, and he does not give one single shit if he lives or dies. So his solution to get the guy not to jump, he handcuffs the guy to himself. And he's like, see, now you're just going to kill us both if you jump. And the guy's like frantic and yelling, and he's like, I don't care, I'll do it anyway. And the Riggs he sees that they're setting up the big like inflatable mat to catch him like 50 feet down. And he's like, oh, you know what? I'm fine with that. I've had a good life. I don't care if I live or die. Let's do it together. And then he just fucking jumps with the guy like 100 feet down onto the crash mat.
There's a million ways that shouldn't work, but sure.
Well, that's the point, is that all the other cops are like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? You could have killed yourself and him.
Boy.
Like, it's a little bit funny because he's nuts, but it's very much depicted as a symptom. Like, after that scene, the captain has a whole discussion of, like, do I need to take Riggs off the duty patrols?
You said
like, he's acting like a fucking lunatic. Do I need to do something about this?
Okay. I mean, but they don't... I mean, that's one of those things that's like, take your fucking badge and send them home. That's too much.
Well, he almost does, but then he assigns him to Murtaugh, and being around Murtaugh kind of like gets him to stop acting like a lunatic.
Murtaugh.
There's actually there's a great like with the emotional bits. Eventually, Riggs confesses to Murtaugh that he thinks about killing himself a lot, and he even says, "I have a special hollow point bullet picked out that I'm saving for it." So that if I decide to do it, there's no chance of fucking it up. And then at the by the way, the first Lethal Weapon takes place on Christmas because
you're just lost to the
director. Sorry, there we go. Shane Black. So Shane Black loves Christmas, so a lot of his movies are set on Christmas.
So they're Christmas movies.
And at the end, not all of his movies, but yeah, the first Lethal Weapon takes place on Christmas. The rest don't. But the nice little, he says the whole thing about the hollow point bullet. Yeah. So he says the whole thing about the hollow point bullet, and then at the end of the movie, he decides to briefly stop at Murtaugh's house on Christmas Eve, and his daughter answers the door, and he says like, "Hey, I don't want to interrupt your festivities. I just have a gift. Can you give this to your dad?" And he hands it to her, and it's just that single bullet with a bow on it. And she's like, "What's this for?" And he just goes, "He'll get it. Just tell him I don't need it anymore."
I mean, maybe don't give the child the gun, but...
No, he didn't give her the gun. He gave her a single bullet wrapped in a bow. And also by child, I mean 17-year-old.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, well, he didn't intend to. He intended to...
He handed it.
But when she answered the door, he didn't want to come in and make things awkward.
Yo, listen, God forbid risking a little bit of awkwardness versus a school shooting.
There's not going to be a school shooting with a single bullet with no gun. Also, this girl lives in a house with a dad who's a cop. If she wanted to commit a school shooting, she'd just grab one of her dad's guns.
And use the hollow point that she conveniently has. That can't.
Well, she doesn't know it's a hollow. She's not a cop. She's 17. She doesn't know what it is. She just recognizes that it's a bullet. She doesn't know the meaning of it.
A little bullet that she could hide from her dad and commit crimes with.
I doubt she wants to. Anyway, we get a nice moment. He's about to leave, and then Murtaugh comes out, and he's like, No, you're joining me for Christmas dinner, motherfucker. I know you got nowhere to go. And there was a joke earlier about how his wife's a terrible cook. And he says something about, like, Riggs, I'm not eating the worst Christmas goose of all time by myself. You're coming in and having Christmas dinner with us.
Oh.
And so the movie ends with them, like, shaking hands and going to eat Christmas dinner together. It's a nice little emotional touch.
I prefer a Critter Christmas.
True. There's also, so that daughter, the 17-year-old, throughout the series, Murtaugh has this irrational fear that Riggs is going to fuck his daughter.
Is he going to fuck his daughter?
No, he'd never even think about it. He just irrationally is terrified of it.
Is his daughter going to fuck him?
She, in the first one, has a little bit of a, not exactly crush on Riggs, but that kind of like, ooh, handsome older guy fascination that teenage girls get. But like, she'd never try anything. And
you mean that thing they put in movies specifically to validate a fantasy that the writers are having?
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, to be fair, teenagers do have crushes on adults all the time in real life, but
Yeah, yeah, but it's more complicated than that.
yeah, and she's not really depicted as having a crush on him. She just thinks he's handsome, which, to be fair, Mel Gibson in 1987 was very handsome.
I mean, I guess you could say he put a lot of passion into his looks.
He did, and he had like super long hair back then too, so he had a really distinct look that was probably different from all the other guys she knows. So like she thinks he's handsome, but that's the end of it. But Riggs is Mel Gibson. He would never even consider doing anything, if for no other reason than because it's his partner's daughter, but also because she's a 17-year-old. But Murtaugh has this fucking irrational fear the whole franchise that that's going to happen. Like it's a recurring joke.
It wouldn't be good if it happened.
Well, to the point that in the third one, when they're on his boat, they're like hanging out and drinking when they're off duty. And he goes like, "Hey, Roger, can I talk to you about something?" "Yeah, sure, what?" "I'm worried I slept with someone I shouldn't have." And he means Rene Russo's character, the detective they're working with. And Murtaugh just goes, "You motherfucker!" and starts hitting him. And he's like, no, what do you think I'm referring to? I'm talking about Detective whatever. Not my daughter? No! Because by this point, he's been trying to convince him for 6 fucking years, I have no interest in fucking your underage daughter.
That's just what someone who wanted to fuck my daughter would say.
Actually, she wouldn't be underage by this point, because if she's 17 in the first one, she'd be like almost 30 by the end of the franchise. So
that's just what someone who wanted to fuck my daughter would say.
Yeah. She fucked Chris Rock, who was age appropriate.
I mean, if I was writing this, that would be the last scene in this franchise. Just be like, "Hey, I fucked your daughter." Black.
That would be really funny, but Riggs, for all of his personal foibles, has a very hard line on diddling children. So,
oh no, she was like 30 years old. It's just his daughter.
Yeah. Which that's part of it too, is his fear of Riggs fucking his daughter goes up with each passing movie because it's more age appropriate.
Adults are not allowed to control who they're consenting adult children fuck.
No, that's true, and that's one of the things. Like, there's a bit in 2 where she, by 2 she's an adult, or at least is like college aged adult. And there's like a bit where she goes out in like maybe a crop top and he knows he can't stop her, but he's just like sitting there super visibly uncomfortable. And no, it's like, "You'll be fine. She's a big girl. You taught her. She can handle anything bad that happens."
He's gonna fuck my daughter.
Yeah, it's funny too, because it's only Riggs. He's not worried about any of the other characters fucking his daughter. He's only worried about Riggs fucking his daughter.
Well, I mean, he could do it.
It's just because she smiled at him that one time when they first met, and he saw it, and ever since then, he's like, "I got my eye on you, motherfucker."
I'm coming for you.
Well, even though he misses the fact that she smiles at him, and he does the really awkward, like the thing you do when you have to interact with a child who's not yours. He just gives her that little like, "Hi, nice to meet you."
Hey there. Your pa says you're a real nice gal. Hey there.
Yeah, they're funny. They're fun movies. You should check them out.
But the Gibson.
I know. Well, do you fucking not watch the Mad Max movies because of him? Did you fucking not watch Braveheart or goddamn We Were Soldiers or whatever?
I mean, I watched Braveheart and I was disappointed.
I kind of agree. Braveheart is good, but it's not as good as some people make it out to be.
It's a monologue that's overrated combined with prima nocta and a dude painting his face blue and a fight scene that's mid compared to anything modern or even just like any decent old movie with a like big cast size. I don't know. It's
yeah, I mean, if we're talking high budget action pieces from 1995 alone, Heat wipes its fucking ass with Braveheart.
I just don't understand what people see in Braveheart that's so good.
Yeah, I watched it. It was pretty good.
Production
values. Yeah, the production values are good. There's some cool action. Mel Gibson gives a decent acting performance. He also directed it, which is, fairly cool.
I don't dislike it, but it was just fine.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty good. I'll watch it again at some point in my life. Not right now.
Like, I'm gonna rewatch Highlander before I watch that.
If you want a movie that's similar to Braveheart, like aesthetically, but is very different in a lot of other respects, check out Rob Roy, which I think came out the exact same year.
Like the accompaniment to Shirley Temple.
Well, they're both named after the same guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert Roy McGregor.
I just know it as a man, Shirley Temple, because men can't drink a prison.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Liam Neeson playing the main character. He did an awesome job. That movie is actually why he kept fucking people up on the set of Phantom Menace. Do you know that story?
Yes, I have heard about this. And they're like, stop it.
Yeah, well, the reason why was because only a couple years earlier he did Rob Roy, which required like really, really extensive sword training.
That's why. Okay.
And it was only a couple years before, so his skills were still really sharp. So when they do the fights, he'd instinctively whip out some really advanced move he learned for Rob Roy a couple years ago.
No, that's not the choreography. And he's like, well, I like this.
Similarly, Ewan McGregor took a long time to stop himself from going while they were fighting. Because he grew up with Star Wars, so he grew up playing lightsabers doing that noise.
Well, young Obi-Wan Kenobi is so foul when you think about how he just
the
lady on the side.
There's actually there's a really funny bit in the bonus features that came on my Blu-ray of the Obi-Wan miniseries, the Disney Plus one, where he was talking about how like getting back into Obi-Wan fighting shape at age 50 or whatever he was, obviously that's a big challenge. So he was talking about some of the stuff he did and learning the choreography, and he's saying there'd be a few times that I'd do a particular move I'd be learning a particular move, and for some reason I found it easier than the others. And then I was going back and rewatching the old material to refresh my memory, and I realized, oh, I did that move 20 years ago in Revenge of the Sith. That's why it's still buried somewhere deep down in my muscle memory.
Yeah, it's like a bike. You don't forget all the stuff, but when you don't use the skill, it just kind of drains.
Similarly, did you watch that documentary that they did about Daniel Radcliffe's stunt double?
No. What?
So I've mostly eschewed watching Harry Potter shit because,
Whoa! You mispronounced the word. Have you never heard the word? Wow! Like I totally just want to rank on you. Wow!
I know. Fuck me.
Really ricocheted back at you, huh?
Anyway, so they did a So on the set of, I think the last Harry Potter movie, or maybe the second to last, Daniel Radcliffe's stunt double got fucking paralyzed in an accident. Like his guy who'd been his stunt double like the whole franchise.
Jesus.
Now he's not completely paralyzed, but he's like in a wheelchair and shit. But they were, they'd been friends. So Daniel Radcliffe, he wanted to tell this guy's story. So he sponsored and I think even partially funded an HBO documentary about the guy. And it was a really fascinating documentary, honestly. But there's a bit at the end where they get to go fuck around in the Warner Brothers Harry Potter prop archives. I forget why. They were there for some other reason and they were allowed in. So they're fucking around with all the old robes and shit, doing spells at each other. And at one point he asks Daniel Radcliffe, it's been 10 years since, or however long it had been, since you last shot a Harry Potter movie. How does it feel holding a wand in your hand? And he said, it feels disturbingly familiar.
I can't imagine what it's like to. How many years did he play that role?
About 10, A little more if you include auditioning and everything.
That's pretty fucking incredible.
Yeah, and he did it his whole like teenage years too. So it was like the most formative time in his life. He was playing Harry Potter.
I feel like that would suck.
He seems to have had a very happy time with it. Now, he's rare amongst child actors in that regard, but it seems like his parents and the other figures around him had his best interests at heart. It helps that his dad was a talent agent, so like he knew what it was like and he knew what to do and not do.
True. I mean, like it definitely seemed like they kept him from turning into Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like of the Harry Potter, like the lead actors at least, because obviously a couple of the supporting ones got into trouble later. But as for the lead kid actors, the one who turned out worst was Tom Felton, and that's just because he still apes off the Harry Potter success. And that's not troublesome, that's just a little sad.
Is that the redhead?
No, that's Malfoy.
Oh.
No, Rupert Grint just does weird indie projects now. Which, that's fine.
Yeah, like, good for him.
He has limitless money. He might as well pursue artistic efforts for the rest of his life. Good for him.
I mean, okay, so I saw this video the other week. It pointed out Draco Malfoy is one of the highest paid haters in history. If you consider the amount he was paid for his for his screen time though. A lot of those movies, he has like 2 fucking minutes on screen, my dude.
Yeah.
And he gets like bank for it.
Yeah, and part of the reason why sometimes is because they shot more material that they cut for time.
That is true.
Sometimes. Other times, no.
Speaking of being cut for time, I have to run and use the bathroom.
Oh, that's fine. We're going to end in a few minutes anyway.
For sure.
Speaking of that, in Star Trek 4, fucking Majel Barrett gets like co-star credit, even though she only is in like 2 shots of the movie, and that's because they shot a ton more stuff with her that they cut for time.
She deserves it.
Yeah, she was a little annoyed by how much they cut, which is unfortunate.
I shall be right back.
All right. While Nick is gone, I'm going to entertain you miscreants. In fact, since I don't want to tell Nick this story again because he's heard it already, but I'll tell you because you might not have. The story about how Daniel Radcliffe was cast as Harry Potter is actually... What happened was they were casting the movie, and they had Ron and Hermione and everyone pretty locked down, but they're having real trouble finding Harry Potter. And then not the director, but I think like the casting guy or one of the producers, like one of the big guys, on one of his nights off, he went to go see a play, and he ran into Daniel Radcliffe and his family there, and his dad, whose name I forget, he'd met him a few times. Like they weren't friends, but they knew each other, like, oh hey, good to see you type of thing, but he never met his wife or son before, and so he just briefly exchanges pleasantries with them, and then he's like, that kid is what I'm fucking looking for, I think. And throughout the whole play, the whole first half of the play, he's not watching the play, he's staring at Daniel Radcliffe, little 10-year-old Daniel Radcliffe, like, I think that's it. To the point that the Radcliffe family noticed. And they were whispering, like, that guy's been fucking staring at our son for like an hour. Should we do something about that? And they asked little old Dan, like, is that making you uncomfortable? Should we leave? And he said, like, the way he tells the story is he's like, it is weird, but like, I'm liking this play. I don't really want to leave just yet. Why don't we give it a little time and see what happens? And they're like, oh, okay. And then during the intermission, he comes up to them and he goes, I've been a fucking creep all night. I know. I'm sorry. I'm casting a movie. Your son looks exactly like the part I'm looking for. And then they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, okay. We're talent agents. We know the situation. So it's just a funny little story of like, oh, yeah. They thought that the casting director might have been a pervert. But no, he was just a guy. He was just on his night off, but he couldn't turn off his work brain. Which, fair enough. It's happened to the best of us. What are you going to do? I gotta figure out this fucking Wi-Fi situation, man. Because it says like excellent signal strength on my computer. I just don't know why it refuses to engage. I hate the internet. It was a mistake. Fuck me. It's almost pit time. Oh my god. Oh my god. I need Nick to see this when he gets back. I had this open because I forgot to close it, and I was scrolling a little. Oh my fucking god. The thing that these motherfuckers are naming their child. Holy shit. I'm not going to scroll any further because there's like people I know in real life. In fact, I'm going to take this off just in case. Actually, here, I can do this. I think I hear Nick coming back, which is good. Come on. I need my buddy or I'm boring. Well, I mean, a little, but that's okay. God damn, I can hear the echo of my own swallowing. That's not good. I need to fix my mic. But I'm not doing it right now. I'm doing that after stream. Actually, I'm probably not. I'm going to watch the pit.
They said it couldn't be done.
Taking a whiz?
They said I couldn't put peanut butter and chocolate together.
Oh. I mean, you can. It doesn't always taste good. It depends on the quality of the two, but...
That's fair. But Reese's peanut butter is like the most non-peanut butter tasting peanut butter.
I don't like Reese's very much. I like chocolate and peanut butter like from other companies or mixing them myself. I don't like Reese's very much.
I only like certain Reese's.
Anyway, I put the image on the screen kind of funny to hide the names of the actual friends of mine whose names are visible, but look at the name that this fucking bitch chose for her child.
All right, let's see here. Anal death.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of babies, can I be a judgmental dickhead for a minute?
I mean, you always can. People are going to judge you for it, but it's always fine.
So there's a girl, I won't say her name or anyone's names because I don't want to dox them, and this isn't even my business.
I love the girl.
No. It's a girl I knew from college who's like, I think my age or older. Like, she's in my grade.
Okay.
And I never like dated her or anything. I thought she was pretty, but she didn't seem into me, so I was like, all right, whatever, I'll just casually be friends with you sometimes. Whatever. That's fine. So I'm Facebook friends with her, so and like Instagram and shit. So I see her shit occasionally.
Sure.
And she was engaged to this dude for like 5 years, like, or maybe including before they were engaged. They were together for like 5+ years.
Okay.
And somewhere along the way, like semi-recently, they broke up, and it was like a really public, nasty one. Like,
oh, that's the
fucking.
best.
I didn't see most of it. I just saw that it had happened and that her friends were taking her side, of course.
So
and then a little while later, she announces that she's pregnant. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Like, in my head, I'm thinking that. Everyone else is congratulating her, and I'm like, that's tragic.
Jesus.
And then she's like, you know, like posting the baby bump, like, all right, cool, that's nice. You're excited. And there's something in there about, like, I didn't think when I thought about becoming a mom, I didn't think I'd be doing it alone, but I'm still so excited. And then just the other day, she was posting something about, like, imagine going out and partying and sleeping around when you have an unborn child on the way. And every single time, the judgmental part of my brain just keeps screaming, don't have this fucking kid, bitch. Please, I'm begging you for your own sake, don't have this fucking kid.
I mean, I think what you mean is don't raise the kid.
Well, that have includes that.
Not necessarily, but
Well, the way I said it, have it means like have it for a while.
true.
Anyway, my point is like now it's probably too late to do the medical route, shall we say, given the size of her baby bump. But I'm just like, bitch, I'm don't do this. Don't do this to yourself. However, she's also a Republican, so I don't mind like laughing at her pain a little bit. But
You're silly.
I said to one of my friends, if I had a nickel for every time a girl I knew from college and thought was pretty and was mildly interested in had an ill-advised out-of-wedlock child, I'd have 3 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened 3 times.
Really disappointed you didn't say thrice.
I could have, but I didn't.
Really disappointed. There's not many times you can say thrice.
One of them was actually in the class we took. We obviously will not say her name, and I'm not sure you even remember who it is.
Pretty sure I do.
Yeah, girl not very into comics took the class for extra credit.
Kind of had another person doing some work.
I don't know about that because I barely ever spoke to her, but
if it's the one I'm thinking of, then yes.
Yeah, after I end stream, don't hang up, and we can talk about which one it actually is. Because like I said, I like the girl I'm talking about now is not a Republican, so I actually like her personally, and I don't want anyone to or anything bad about her.
Man,
but
while I hear what you're saying, if a Republican raises a baby, you're just gonna have another conservative on your hands. So.
Oh no, I agree. In fact, I suspect that ex-fiance of hers is the one who turned her right wing, because back when I used to talk to her occasionally, she wasn't dating that guy yet, and she didn't appear to be right wing.
There's a lot of things that can turn a person right wing, but yeah.
I don't know. Just all I know is that as soon as she started dating that fucking guy, she went from posting apolitical stuff to posting right-wing stuff. Now, maybe she was always primed for fucking radicalization or something. I don't know anything about her family. But all I know is that I used to be able to converse with her, and I could not do that now.
So, to be clear, she's one of those. Because, like, not every conservative person is someone you can't converse with. Otherwise,
yeah, I don't know. Maybe I could fucking deprogram her with, like, an hour's worth of work. But my point is, like, she's a Trump supporter.
Well, no, I mean, people don't got to be deprogrammed all the time. I mean, there's such a thing as a decent conservative you can just have a dialogue with and not have to try to fucking win over. But like, it doesn't feel like we're talking about that as much as we're talking about a person who's in a cult of personality, which is just a separate issue in and of itself.
So I don't know how extreme her MAGA loyalties go. Like, I don't know if she's one of the ones who just like passively voted for him because the economy, or if she's like a diehard kill all the brown people type. But what I do know is that she fucking proudly posted herself wearing a t-shirt that said "Vaccinate these nuts" at a time when that was the hot button issue.
It's funny because that one just pisses you off on a personal level. You're like, how dare these people?
Well, not only is it politically disgusting, but yes, especially back then when COVID was still at its height, if I met you in person and you admitted to not being not being vaccinated, I was probably going to hit you. Like, I was.
Wouldn't that
I still
increase exposure? I'm just going to throw that out there.
What'd you say?
Wouldn't you just expose yourself if you hit the anti-vaxxer?
Well, I'd hit them with something, like not with my bare hands. Like a baseball bat or a car.
Yeah.
Dude, I literally haven't been to my childhood comic book store in several years because the owner of it turned out to be fucking anti-vax. I didn't start a fight with him over that. I didn't converse with him about that, but I was like, that did change my opinion of you, bro. Bless you.
Thank you. I mean,
like, in his case, I know that he's just kind of dumb and doesn't really know better. So it didn't like make me stop being friends with him, but it did make me think of him differently as a person.
There's a theoretical time that I don't judge an anti-vaxxer, and hear me out.
I think I know what you're going to say.
If you live completely off of the grid, and you can describe to me every single thing that you put into your body on a daily basis, down to the wire, and what its ingredients are, and you're the one who sourced them, then maybe, just maybe, I will hear out your delusional shit because you have based your life around commitment of what you're saying. If I have one more person hit me with a, well, do you really know what's in there? Tell me what's in a Mountain Dew right now without looking at a can.
I thought you were going to say anybody who lived through the Tuskegee experiments, and I was going to say that's also valid.
I mean, that... No, they're all dead, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
not necessarily. The Tuskegee Institute didn't get shut down till the 70s.
I mean,
there could easily be a 65-year-old black dude walking around who was personally victimized by that.
Absolutely. He also could just be shot down dead because it's not like they really went after people in the most fortunate situations.
That's true, but I'm trying to be optimistic and imagine that those black people had nice lives afterwards because I generally prefer that.
With optimism has worked so well for black people in the past. Hold on.
No, I get it. Trust me.
I ask how he feels about that one.
I am not suggesting anybody fucking is unrealistic. I'm just saying that if I don't know what happened to that person, I prefer to imagine they lived a happy life.
I'd like to imagine they did, but I prepare for the idea that they didn't, I guess is where I come at it, but I get you.
Oh, yeah, I'm prepared for it too, but, like, that's not fun to discuss on a show.
Well, here's the thing. Tuskegee is not fun to discuss in general. Kind of.
True. It's fascinating sometimes, but it's certainly not fun.
I mean, it's too close to me to be fascinating. It is a thing that could fucking physically happen to me if in like 20 years time difference, backwards or forward type shit. That's all. Oh,
yeah, to be clear, when I say something, maybe I should have said interesting, not fascinating. Just because something's interesting doesn't mean I at all approve of it. The fucking Holocaust is interesting to study. That doesn't make it something I'm happy about.
Yeah, no, I guess it's just like, it's so close, it's fucking icky.
Oh, yeah, I get it. I mean, fucking, like, RFK's fucking autism comments, like, I feel a little tiny taste of what you're describing from that. Now, that's easier for me to just laugh off, but...
I mean, like, at least he's doing it out in the open. Like, it's not, like, weird, like, declassified shit. Oh, look at that. Like, because, like, then you got to question, well, fuck, now what's happening? And, like, you end up being a conspiracy theorist because of reasonable conspiracies, turning you into questioning everything because of the goddamn milieu of how conspiracies work. Once you're in the door for, like, saying, oh, well, this can be covered up or changed, it makes it so much easier for any person to fall into these. And then half the time...
I just noticed your fucking name.
Oh, yeah. I made my choice.
That's fair. Hey, you should have had your eyes open, but... Anyway, the thing about the optimism, I was actually talking to Zoe Bowie about this and last night, and I didn't bother doing this because it was a more serious discussion, but to quote, you know how much I love my Jesse Wells. To quote Jesse Wells and his song "We're All Gonna Die," we're all gonna die eventually, but it's a beautiful day. Don't let it get in the way. Life's a great opportunity. Panic don't look that good on you. It don't look that good on me. We're all gonna die, but love is free.
I don't know, bro. Panic looks great on some people. Thrash.
Because I was talking. Because I was saying, like, I won't share what we were talking about. It was just like politics shit. But she said something super pessimistic, and I was like, does it make you feel good to imagine that scenario?
It makes me feel in control to understand what's happening. And
true. No, I get it. But this was a particular like go to the worst case scenario on purpose to inoculate myself, and I'm like, doesn't that just make you sad to imagine?
Nah, because you're prepared. Okay. So if you go to the worst case, right, there is nowhere to go but up.
I get it, and I do that too, but I don't do it in like a, oh fuck, what's gonna happen? I do it in like a, all right, well, if that happens, we have this option to pursue, and then I'm done thinking about it because I don't enjoy thinking about sad things.
Gotta have the go bag, you know. You gotta.
Yeah, exactly. But like,
mean,
you have the go bag, and then you put it in the closet. You don't like stare at the fucking go bag all day, wondering if you're gonna need it.
Unfortunately, I think at that point it's like you can't control where your mind's jumping to. If you try to suppress the thoughts of the go bag,
Yeah, I know.
more of the go bag.
Yeah, I know. It's all case by case, and like some scenarios it makes sense to be pessimistic, others it doesn't.
I mean, I like to be optimistic about individual human beings.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
That's something that makes sense, you know. If I meet a person on the street, I'm optimistic about how we're going to interact as we treat each other because we're social animals and such. But if you're asking me about anything about a fucking large scale group of people, nah, bro. Nah.
Yeah, that's true. Though I don't go most pessimistic either, because usually what happens in, say, a geopolitical situation is the middle of the road. It's not that great, but it's not the worst either.
I mean, if the worst case scenario happens, you just don't hear about it. So,
I mean, sometimes the worst case scenario does happen. Ronald Reagan did become president after all, but
tell me why we got circuits or evidence of circuits in the Mayan civilization. We know their civilization collapsed. We don't know what the fuck happened, and people have been trying to make weird guesses ever since. You don't know because we don't fucking. Cause sometimes you just don't hear about it. Like if shit really hits the fan, you no one's gonna know. It's just gonna hit the fan.
That was something I said, like, because I said something about that, and Zoe goes, you know, like, I don't know how you're so optimistic about it. And my comment was, well, either we win or it's not my problem anymore, so I might as well be.
Yeah, but like, okay. I'm going to ask a question I think is going to be telling here.
Okay.
Zombie apocalypse happens. You're dealing with some OG 28 Days Later zombies. You are not in a good spot.
Yeah.
What do? Are you one of those people who just fucking eats a gun?
It depends. If I'm trapped in the room and the door's coming down, yes. But if like, because keep in mind that the outbreak in 28 Days Later was eventually contained. I mean, it was.
Like, yeah, but like, how do I put this? Keep in mind that shit ain't happening in our world, bro.
Well, I'm just saying, like, let's say that it works out, that it is fated to work out that way. I am in the movie, like, or I'm not in the movie. I am in Britain at the time it takes place.
Fine. I'm going to change the scenario if we're going to be like that. Walking Dead zombies.
Okay. Where am I? Because if I'm in the Commonwealth, fuck no, the Commonwealth is awesome.
You're wherever the fuck you are right now.
Right now, so I'm in my house.
Yeah.
Okay, so my first step is find a safe haven to go to.
Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, are you going to struggle until the last moment, or are you just going to be like, it's impossible at a certain point? What are you going to do?
I'm going to struggle until it is just abundantly clear that it's untenable.
Here's the thing. I can never accept it's untenable, which means it is always my shit is always on me. I'm always responsible for it, which means I have to prepare for everything because it's on me. I can't like there's no tap point.
Yeah, well, I mean, like if we're talking zombie shit, so like if I if I'm living near the Commonwealth when shit goes down and I know, oh, if I can just make the semi-perilous journey there, but if I make it, I'm safe, I'll take the chance. But if it's like Mad Max conditions and it's like, oh, maybe there's a Commonwealth out there, maybe I don't take the chance. Maybe I just go, I had a good run.
Fuck that. Yeah. See, I'll tell you exactly what you should be doing. Just go steal a boat.
Well, if it ever does happen, I'm driving to Utah to where my dad's Mormon friend lives, and I'm killing him and stealing all his fucking guns.
You can't make it to Utah.
Well, we don't know. Depends on the apocalypse.
I
mean, Morgan made it halfway across the U.S., half of which was on foot.
I mean, that was like the biggest Deus Ex Machina ever because they just wanted a blind, or not blind, but like the black fighter, like kung fu guy.
Well, he did also make that journey over the course of like 6 months off screen, so I'm not saying that it was like easy. I just mean,
I just like shit. That would be a bitch.
Oh yeah, it would. And Morgan probably has worse knees than I do just from his age, so I'm sure it was painful.
I'm going to Martha's Vineyard.
Did you watch enough of Fear to meet the guy in the wheelchair?
I saw some scenes with him.
Okay. Did you see the scene where he and Morgan meet?
I think so. Yes, it's dark out. It's on the roof.
No, it's in it's indoors in the handicap stall.
No, I didn't see this.
So Morgan, the way those two meet is that Morgan stops at a gas station to like look for supplies or whatever.
Okay.
And while he's there, he's like, "Well, there's toilets here. I might as well take a dump." Like, it doesn't really matter if they work because, he's leaving. So he's sitting in the handicap stall, sitting on the toilet, taking a dump, and he hears a noise. And in, Daryl Chill Mitchell, the rapper / actor?
Chill Mitchell?
You've seen Galaxy Quest, right?
Yes.
Remember the black dude who's like the helmsman?
Got it.
That actor. So in real life, a couple of years after Galaxy Quest, he was in a motorcycle accident and got paralyzed. Which leads to the scene in Galaxy Quest where he's screaming that he can't feel his legs. That makes it really hard to watch in hindsight. But anyway, so he kept acting afterwards, acting and rapping. He rolls around in a wheelchair now.
Hold on. He did Drake in reverse?
Yeah, kinda.
Okay.
So anyway, obviously, since he is paraplegic, they wrote that into his character. So Morgan hears a noise, and in rolls Chill Mitchell, whose character's name I forget, and he's got a shotgun aimed at Morgan. And Morgan's like, he's still sitting there, presumably with the turd halfway out of his ass. And he's just like, all right, we can be cool. There's no problems here. Like that kind of thing. And Daryl Mitchell, he goes, my whole life, people have been using handicap stalls, even though they're intended for people like me. Why is that? Why did you choose the handicap stall when all the others were available? And Morgan's sitting there and he just goes, I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of liked how it feels like a little apartment. And Daryl's like, yeah, you're not wrong, especially when it's got a sink. And then once they both determine that neither is a threat to the other, they just become friends. But it's just really funny that their first conversation was one on opposite ends of a shotgun and two about handicap stalls and how they feel like apartments.
I could just feel Jesse Eisenberg being like, didn't follow the rule book.
What's the rule book?
Oh,
right. Never take a dump unattended or whatever. What was it?
Yeah, literally Zombieland is very clear about this. That you poop in twos.
Yeah, I haven't seen Zombieland in so long that I forgot that line.
Yeah, like there's a whole specific thing. He's like, nope, you hold it or you shit your pants. I don't care.
So before we go, I want to talk about one thing that I realized about Wrath of Khan the other night. That's why I named myself Captain Terrell's Brainworm tonight. You know what I really fucking like about that movie?
What?
From the POV, so you know how Chekhov at the beginning of the movie is first officer on the Reliant under Captain Terrell?
Yes.
From the perspective of Terrell and Chekhov, that probably felt like an average everyday adventure that Kirk and Spock would have gone on.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we checked out this old planet. Oh, shit, there's some guys who've been here for 15 years, and one of them's got a bone to pick with my old commanding officer. Like, that feels like the plot of a one-off 50-minute TOS episode from the 60s.
I thought that was the intention.
It probably was, yeah. It's not, because it's not Kirk and Spock, it's not so immediately obvious, oh yeah, this very much feels like something Kirk and Spock would have done. But then, unlike what would have happened with Kirk and Spock, he doesn't save the day at the end, Captain Terrell. He dies, because we're Star Trek for adults, quote unquote, now, and that means sometimes the good guys die.
You have already gotten your fun little intro to Starfleet. Now you got to deal with it.
Yeah. Well, the whole movie is about growing up. Or it's about aging, but like aging for Kirk and by extension, you, the viewer, growing up.
The irony that every single Kirk fanboy, every single TOS stan does not understand this shit and still bitches about every new Star Trek to ever come out.
I know, including Shatner himself sometimes.
Well, he's Shatner. He's allowed to do that. He's fine.
I know. But like, so what I think I said this to you on text, but I'll say it again for the audience. Wrath of Khan is a movie filled with fan service. I mean, just having Khan back is fan service.
Pretty much.
But it's a fan service filled movie about growing up. Modern fan service filled movies are about reminding you of your childhood.
I
love Force Awakens. Force Awakens has a soft spot in my heart because of what it meant to me to Star Wars movie in theaters. But goddamn it, there was a lot of member berries in that movie.
Yeah, no, I just don't think it's the same thing. Like one is a cast reunion film, and the other is not a cast reunion. It's like the high school cast all dresses up in their high school outfits and then goes back to class for a day.
Yeah, exactly. Like Wrath of Khan is a like class reunion movie about what did they go on to do.
Yeah,
and how have they changed, and how are they going to continue to change?
Because they're people.
Yeah.
Force Awakens.
Like Kirk.
Oh, you remember?
Yeah, and I mean, I'll defend Force Awakens more than some people. I like that movie quite a bit, but it does rely very heavily on, oh yeah, like last time.
I want to do a fucking test. Like, let's find some kids who have never seen any Star Wars and just show them that one first, and then ask them like questions about context and see if any of this makes actual sense or how much of this is projected from seeing this and knowing 20 years of stuff.
Yeah, that's true too. But like think of Kirk's last line in Wrath of Khan. They say, "How are you feeling, Admiral?" And he says, "I feel young." The reason why he feels young is because this has been the first time in a while that he's dealt with a situation not only like this, but one where he lost, or at least partially lost. Like, without Spock, this is the first time in over 20 years Kirk has not had Spock in his life. And that means, like, he feels young in the sense of, like, I don't know what happens next. This is uncharted territory for me.
And you know what that means? He's about to start cheating.
Well, it's hard to cheat when your partner's dead, but...
No. Not like that. Like the best kind of Kirk cheating. Like some Kobayashi Maru cheating.
Yeah, true. Though technically, is that cheating if it doesn't say in the rule books that he's not allowed to do that?
Okay, this is the whole Starfleet question of like, what are our rules?
Yeah.
And it's meant with a very tongue-in-cheek, like, as long as you understand. Yeah, it is cheating. But like,
well, yeah, he says he got a commendation for original thinking, which implies to me that the instructors went, fair enough, we didn't think of that possibility. We'll give you credit for it, and we're never letting anyone else do it again.
Well, I mean, Yeah, but like Starfleet always does shit like this. Like,
Yeah, I mean, hell, even in real life, I had times in school where like I'd give an answer to a question that was not what the teacher wanted, but was also an equally valid answer. And because this was a teacher who wasn't a piece of shit, he'd be like, "That is valid. From now on, I'm going to make very clear what I'm talking about, so that there's no point of confusion there. But you did point out to me a discrepancy in my own questions, and I appreciate that. And for that, you get credit on the answer."
nah, my teacher's like, your grades are already gonna fuck up curves. Fuck off. Like, no, we're not doing that.
That happens too. But
Like,
anyway, Wrath of Khan's a
write
fucking
your
awesome
name in
movie.
Spanish. Your name in Spanish.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Like the first time that was ever done, the teacher has to go, "Well, he is doing what I said."
They should. They probably won't.
Well, yeah, most of them won't. But if you have a teacher who's not an asshole, they will do a mea culpa and say, "Fair enough, I didn't word that correctly."
Educators don't do mea culpas, silly.
Some
This
do.
is-
I've had a few who did. Did I ever tell you about the time I understood The Giver better than my teacher did?
That sounds fun. Let's hear this.
No, I'm not shitting on her at all. It's just, so you've read The Giver, right?
Yeah.
You remember how there's releasing, and then we find out what releasing is?
Coming.
No, it's much worse than that. It's not the little death, as the French call it. It's the big death.
That's what I said. Coming.
Yeah. So
Coming or
when
going.
when we talked about the reveal scene of like, oh shit, releasing is a lethal injection.
Huh.
And we were talking about like, now remember they told us earlier the old people get released eventually, and she goes, you know, that's messed up, right? The old guy goes in for his doctor's office. Oh, what's this injection? And I raised my hand. I said, I kind of interpreted it a little differently. And she goes, all right, let me hear it. I said, I think they know exactly what the injection does. They just don't understand the significance of it. They know that they're going to get shot up and stop breathing. They don't understand really what death is. They don't really understand the concept of death. And then she was like, she kind of paused and was like, I didn't think of that. You might be onto something. And then I'm like, hell yeah, I'm 13 and I outsmarted my English teacher.
We get it. You saw Logan's Run. You fucking cheat.
No, I'd never seen Logan's Run before then. I didn't see that movie till like last year.
Really?
Yeah, I knew of it, but actually back then I didn't know of it. I'd known of it since like high school, and I never got around to seeing it till last year.
The amount of weird references and shit that I learned because of Fallout is actually strange, but Logan's Run is one of them.
By the way, do you know who played Logan in the movie?
No, Pauly Shore? No, that's Biodome.
I forget the actor's name, but you remember Basil Exposition from the Austin Powers movie? Or movies?
His last name is Exposition.
Yeah, Basil Exposition was his character's name.
How do I forget his last name being Exposition? That's hilarious.
I think they only said it once, maybe, but I remembered it because I was like, that's funny.
That is great.
But yeah, Basil Exposition, except 25 years younger and with much longer hair, played Logan.
Damn.
Actually, there's another surprisingly progressive for the era moment in Logan's Run. Remember at the beginning when he's like on basically Tinder, except it teleports the lady directly to your house?
Yeah.
When Jessica, when she teleports in and she's like, honestly, I'm not feeling this. I don't know why I got on tonight. He kind of goes, oh, I'm sorry. Do you prefer women?
Well, it's
Like he just says,
yeah.
well, yeah, but it was early 70s British sci-fi.
Well, yeah, no, the Brits were cool about it.
The Brits were very much not cool about homosexuality in 1973.
The sci-fi actors were pretty cool about it.
Maybe, but still, like, for a movie from the early 70s to treat lesbian sex as like, oh yeah, that's fine. Like, that was somewhat of a bold stance to take.
I guess.
Somewhat. Most people would write it off as a joke, but still, to have a positive reference to lesbianism in an early 70s movie. I mean, I've told you before, John Carpenter's TV movie from 1978 has a lesbian in it who's just like a non-issue.
Yeah, but I've said before, we a new Avatar might have just come out, but we need James Cameron because, dude, we need to raise the fucking bar. This is outrageous.
True.
I don't care. Like, it's not enough.
I know, but part of it is I'm judging by the standards of TV movie from 1978.
I mean, yeah, but like, they already got awards for that back then.
In real movies, though, TV was still really fucking strict about that shit in 1978. Like, to the point that I'm surprised they let Carpenter do it.
I don't really know much about the TV guidelines on that kind of thing.
Yeah, the Hays Code, like the shit with the movies, that ended in the late 60s. But that methodology of making TV pretty much, like, that stayed around till, like, the 80s. Like, Hill Street Blues was notable for throwing hells and damns out in the dialogue.
I mean, yeah. What do you think would be a modern equivalent to something like that?
It's hard to say because politics is so different. But, like,
I mean, I guess more just like someone bouncing against the guidelines.
The guidelines, that's a different thing, especially because now everything's on streaming, and so there's like very little in the way of S&P. But like, if we're talking making a bold political statement, I mean, let's say that the next Star Trek show just kind of casually has a polyamorous relationship and it's treated as a non-issue.
Already there, bud.
Well, true. But I mean amongst humans, not amongst like aliens where they can justify it because, oh, they're aliens. It's a little funny and different.
Well, I mean, what? I don't think well, why's it got to be a human? Who cares?
It doesn't. I'm just saying, like, because if they're alien characters, then the conservatives can go, oh, well, they're aliens. We don't have to get mad about this.
I don't feel like they actually do that, though.
Get mad about it?
Well, no. I mean, like they'll get mad about the elves, even though they're not humans.
Yeah, it varies.
They'll get mad about the vampires and the Satanists and these weird characters from space.
Like, if we're introducing the concept of like a wife and a co-husband or whatever it is DS9 called them, that's way easier to do when they have like green skin and gills. Like, it's way easier for someone who's not comfortable with that to go, oh, they're aliens, things are different there, all right.
Fair.
Whereas like for example, the lesbian kiss in DS9, the reason they got away with that was because it was two alien characters.
Well, yeah, but still, what? Not going back, but like going forward, what would even be like an equivalent to that?
There really wouldn't be one because TV, like the landscape of TV, is so different now.
I don't know, man, because it's still a cultural thing.
Part of it was that because TV was free, there was an expectation that because it's free, kids can find it. And if kids can find it, it needs to be okay for them to watch.
So, like YouTube.
Well, yeah, YouTube has its own problems that I won't get into because we'll be here all night. But that's why...
Well, no, but that's my whole point, though. There's still a bunch of S&P all over the place. It's just enforced in different ways. Are there?
So, well, what I mean is, like cable. Like when cable became a big thing, you were allowed to do more on cable because the logic was, since you have to pay for this, children can't access it without parental consent.
Yeah, no, that's not my question here.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, you have these examples of shows trying to push the boundaries here.
Yeah.
Is it me, or is that idea of pushing against it almost completely buried at this point? I mean,
Kind of, yeah. Nowadays, when they say pushing the bounds of TV, they don't mean in terms of content they're allowed to show. They mean in terms of like experimenting with the medium.
yeah. You have shows that exist purely on YouTube at this point, and I don't know. I just think it's interesting. We have more of a shift of things switching to using words like unalive to make sure that they can get like their like ad money versus shows using terms or scenes that would go against the guidelines just because they think it's morally valid. Like,
yeah, it's complicated.
Well, I mean, is it complicated, or are writers just cowards? No,
Both.
I mean, because cowards got to be called out as cowards. If no one wants to actually do anything except what they're told, then cool.
Yeah, I agree. People, like a year or two ago, we found out that one of the Disney Plus shows was supposed to have a queer storyline that they cut because they were too cowardly to put it in. And everyone was super pissed at them over it.
I mean, they're not cowardly. They're China.
It was the writers specifically who decided to not try and get it in, is what I'm saying.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. I love people. Yeah, because I have to make sure their project gets fucking greenlit. So like, why even put anything controversial?
Yeah, this was one that had already been greenlit too, so they just fucking pussed out for the love of the game.
It has to be noted there is a literal it's more in a trend. You have decades of some artists in some way trying to like push a movie or a show, and what we've turned into is now, well, I don't want to upset my future possibilities. It's like,
I know, it's fucking ridiculous.
We're losing to South Korea, and we're gonna like, bro, they're gonna have like South Korea's gonna run global shows in like 15 years.
As long as they're still good.
I mean, they'll be good. It's just I just hate to see any industry die.
True. Anyway, I'm going to end the stream because I want to go watch The Pit, but do not leave because I want to tell you a story that I'm not telling on stream.
All right, let's hear it. Bye, guys.
All right. Bye, guys. Hang on, let me make sure it's ended first.